Second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about...
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
English, mother...
Body, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Let's put a smile on that face.
What's up, film family, and welcome back to the Film Room Podcast. And today, not only am I here with my boy Scott. Say what's up, Scott.
Yo, yo, yo.
We are also joined by one of our closest friends we've known for almost 15 years. It's crazy to say out loud, 15 years. He's joining us to talk about the 2007 Transformers movie, The Man, the Myth, OTB. Oh. Jahmari Richards.
Hey.
Okay, that OTB thing is OD crazy.
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut.
Also, 15 years is wrong. So
Is
15, it might be 15 for you.
Okay.
But I actually have a picture of when Scott and I played soccer, and I think we were maybe 5 years old.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
did
were
you
young.
know each other though?
Well, we were on the
We're
same
on the
soccer
same-
team.
Oh, the same. I think
Yeah.
you meant, like,
Same soccer team. He's in the picture.
Yeah.
Like,
damn.
For his wedding, actually, my mom had the idea of like getting that picture printed and put in the suit jacket because I told her we could do the custom ones, and I was like,
Oh,
I don't know.
It's a little much.
About all that.
Because then you'd also have like 10 other kids
Yeah, exactly.
in your suit jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, I didn't. That's crazy. Okay, maybe for me it's 15 though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me it's 15.
newbie.
Yeah, not bad. But all right. So what did you guys think though? What was your first feelings on the rewatch? Because obviously we've all seen this before. Like,
I
did you-
mean,
yeah.
yeah, it was. I don't know how many times I've already seen this, but I don't know. It's just lit.
Okay,
it's
no,
just
it's
it's
good.
just lit. Like I remember it as a kid and seeing like the robots transform and the action, and I was like, this is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
As a kid, and then now rewatching it, like obviously I have those nostalgia goggles, so it still is kind of like super cool. But now watching it, thinking more critically, like it's not a perfect movie, but it's still a fun movie.
Yeah. What about you, Jahmari?
For me, I love this movie, and like I was telling another friend about it. This holds so much sentimental value to me because growing up, my dad was a huge Transformers fan, like with the cartoons on YTV and stuff like that. For I think on my 4th or 5th birthday, he bought like a scale model of Sentinel Prime from one of the TV shows, and he was furious because some of the parts were missing. And I remember him going back and like losing it on the people at like the Walmart down the hill. That's how old it was.
Damn.
And I was
What,
like,
Plastorline in the mall?
at the mall.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that, and this was the last film that we had seen together, just the two of us at Silver City before the one up here opened up. So I was like, this was not only a great film, it was a good time with my dad, and it was something cool like that we both liked growing up. So and again, like I said, I love this movie. I've seen it so many times. Like I have like this special collector's edition for this one, for number 2, and then the series fell off after those two.
Yeah.
After the first two?
First 2. Number 3 is
3 is what, Revenge of the Fallen?
No, that's Dark Side, right?
Dark Side of the Moon. Number 2
okay.
is Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah. And then, actually, I wanted to ask you guys this, like, but the Mark Wahlberg ones, like,
Yeah, I mean, I got excited when they came out because I was
of
like,
course.
it's coming back, and I watched them, and like, I probably have to rewatch them.
No, you don't.
My initial,
no, you don't.
Yeah, no, you don't. They're so freaking bad. Like
They're bad.
last night, I all I remember is the scene where he like Optimus cuts off a bunch of guys' heads. That's it, and that's all. I only remember that because it's a GIF.
oh shit,
That's
That
all.
was in
yeah,
the
that's
trailer,
true.
I remember. And
Yeah.
that movie sucked. I remember that was maybe the second last one.
the last night.
The last night. I think that's maybe the worst Transformers
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah, that one is pretty bad. That one I'll agree with you. I think I liked the first one a little bit.
The first one's not bad.
Age of Extinction.
It's
yeah,
Is that the first one?
That's
Megatron's still in that one, right? Isn't that when they bring back
Yeah.
Megatron?
where he
There's the seed.
and he's
He
like
morphed.
the morphing
Yeah.
truck.
Oh yeah, Transformium. That pissed me the hell off, bro. Transformium. I know we're not doing that movie, but that's my lazy award. That would be my Ferris Bueller award for that movie. I'm deciding right now.
Okay.
Come on, Transform.
Yeah, the name. Oh, the
That's
name.
the name.
Oh, okay,
Transformium. Okay, yeah.
Like, okay, we
yeah.
got an element that we found a new element that these guys can transform. What's it called? Transform it. Fuck you. That's so bad.
No, it's not good. You're not wrong. Did you guys watch any like TV shows too? Like of
course.
My dad was a big fan too of the '80s ones, so I saw the '80s ones. But is there specific? Do you remember the show that you watched? Because there's so many different versions.
I don't remember the name of it, but it was on YTV, and the whole premise was like the mini cons.
Okay.
The more like whatever side the Decepticons or Autobots, they were trying to collect the mini cons for something.
Okay.
And I cannot remember it, and all I can remember is I was such a big fan of Hot Shot in that show that when the movie that we're about to talk about came out, and they
You can say the name. It's okay. It's not a secret.
when Transformers came out and Bumblebee was like the big, like the cute guy, I was like, who the fuck is Bumblebee? Where's Hot Shot? Like I was so pissed off in the theater because I was like, where's Hot Shot? Like this guy's cool. He's witty. He's funny. Like, and he was a hot rod.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, I don't know which show it was that I watched either. And I don't even remember really any specific characters other than like, Megatron, Optimus, like Bumblebee, the big names. But I just remember watching the cartoons as a kid and just having so much fun with it. And like being a kid, I was like, man, these are so cool. These are so like the robots that can talk and they transform into cars. I had the toys, man. I was I don't know which character it was. It wasn't a big name, that's for sure. I couldn't afford the big name, I guess, or my parents could. But it was. I was transforming it back into cars and just playing with it, and it was just the best. Like Transformers as a premise for kids is just so dope.
No, it's timeless. It's like Ninja Turtles. I feel like it's that same kind of thing where it's just it keeps going. Yeah. I think Ninja Turtles had a better run. I mean, that's for another podcast, is because there's a lot of good movies in there too, in that whole franchise. But it's funny you guys mentioned those shows because I feel like the same way too. I don't remember exactly the one I watched. I did watch. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Beasties or like the they were like animals too. Yep. That one I distinctly remember watching it, like Optimus Primal and all that stuff. I actually had that toy. But as far as the actual like regular Transformers, I don't remember it. And I looked it up to try to find it. There was like Transformers Armada. That was like the name of it. I don't think it's a good translation because it's like in Japanese.
Armada
maybe. I think so. But from what I remember from the show, I remember like Megatron being almost like a Dr. Claw. Like I don't know if you know Inspector Gadget, where it's like Dr. Claw, you never see his face kind of thing. And I remember like Megatron was almost like this thing. Starscream would always go to him, and he was like messed up when he's waiting to be back to full form. I don't know if I just dreamed that or if that was just a movie or something. I don't remember if that was the show or not.
Well, it's definitely in Revenge of the Fallen. Like the second of...
No, I mean in the actual cartoon, that's like a thing where it's like...
But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a thing in the cartoon because they did it in the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
So. I just couldn't remember which one it was and it's bothering me.
Man, don't rack your brain. There's, like you said, there's been so many. And
it's like Power Rangers. Remember?
Okay, but Power Rangers is goated.
Yeah, but again, there's 100 different...
So many.
And they all hit.
Okay.
Dinosaurs is
they all
that one hits me.
Hit. Wild Force, SPV, Magic Force, Ninja Storm. Woo! Time Force, brother.
Oh my goodness.
Brother, I can go on for days.
We might have to do a Power Rangers movie. Not the one that came out recently, but
that one's not bad, bro. Trust me.
Okay.
Hasbro makes good movies.
Hey, you're flexing your credentials right now for all the. He's the guest on the pod, and he's coming and flexing. He knows all these toy movies. He's cooking.
Well, these guys also say that I've been a harsh critic on some movies that they love, and our other friend Ian, who loves every movie, I'm the antithesis of I hate so many movies. Oh my days!
But you love this one.
Yeah,
that's like a decent movie.
Decent. So before,
I love it. Like we said, like I have the nostalgia goggles, and like the action carries this, and like for the first time seeing live action. Well, obviously it's CGI, but live action Transformers and the way they look, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. But the movie itself is decent, maybe.
Yeah. So
it's decent. I'll give it decent.
Like I said, this movie holds a heart, like a soft spot in my heart. But this is the first time I ever really sat down and took notes for a film, and I was like, God damn, I'm ripping this shit apart. Like this was like,
that's what I'm saying.
This was like an 8.5 in my heart. I don't know so much about that anymore.
Okay, I'm interested to hear that. All right. So this movie, as we were talking about Transformers, was directed by Michael Bay, who's he made Bad Boys 1 and 2, The Rock. I've never actually seen that movie. Armageddon. He did every Transformers movie, even the Mark Wahlberg ones. He didn't make that most recent one that came out, but I didn't realize he did all of them, like even the ones we hate.
Me neither.
He's stuck with it. Which is funny too, because after he made the first one, I watched like a behind the scenes thing, and he was like, He's like, man, this took so much. I don't think I could ever do this again. They must have thrown a bag at him. For him to do 4 more times.
Well, they let him use too much goddamn slow-mo and pyro in the last, like, 3. It was 4, actually. In the last 4, it's just slow motion action scene. Like, giant explosion every 2 seconds. God.
It's an action movie, man. You get mad when you watch a Fast and Furious movie and, so many cars, man. They're just driving the whole time.
Okay, but there hasn't been enough cars in the Fast and Furious movies as of late.
You're right.
I'm surprised he hasn't directed one of those.
Michael Bay?
Yeah.
He made that Jake Gyllenhaal movie, Ambulance.
I was just going to mention that too. Pain and Gain and Ambulance is the last one. My sister said that one was actually pretty good.
Ambulance?
Yeah, and she's kind of a tough critic too. She's not like a tough critic, but like she's like, if a movie's okay, like the way I knew that she had a good sense of if a movie's bad or not, she's like, I saw Ant-Man 3, it was trash. And I was like, you know, okay, she knows.
That's the bar.
So she's got a nice wrinkly brain. She knows what
I know
she's
some
doing.
people like that.
Shout
it's
out
very
Ian.
simple.
You really like that movie, huh?
Yeah, I think did he say he liked that?
I assume he did, man.
Damn.
He likes all
Man,
Shout out Ian, if you're listening to this. We love you.
I haven't liked a single Marvel movie since Endgame, except Deadpool and Wolverine. I haven't seen them all, granted, because they've been ass.
Okay.
But like Ant-Man 3, I'm sure is trash.
Yeah, it's not
I
the
just
best. It's not the best.
I would believe you if you say it's trash.
But anyway, I don't blame you at all for not. So I want to mention the writers just for a specific reason. So there was 3 writers on this. There's Roberto Arce, is his name, and then Alex Hertzman. The last guy I wanted to mention was John Rogers, and the reason I wanted to mention John Rogers because he was the creator of the Jackie Chan Adventure Show. So I got to give him shout outs for that. Jackie!
Oh my, yo, goat.
That's goat. Yeah. The fact that he created, some white dude created the Jackie Chan. I mean, I guess it doesn't need to be like another like Chinese guy to create the show. Jackie probably just gave him all the tidbits to make it like more cultural, but like that's a goated show. Yeah. That show can rewatch from beginning to end. Like, again, probably a nostalgic thing, but like the show was good.
Yeah.
The show talisman and everything. Like
man, first 10 minutes of this pod, pure nostalgia. we just been talking about like 2000 to 2010. That's it.
Hey,
that's when the movie came out.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. If we're talking about moving the 10s, then we do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Would we though? Would we talk about the cartoons from the 2010s?
Depending what the movie is.
Man, Hannah Montana was going crazy.
Well, we are talking about a franchise that's been around for
Hannah Montana was a banger.
Right? Okay, there we go. There we go. So, all right, so let's get into the movie. So the movie opens up with Optimus Prime kind of explaining the importance of the cube and how the search for the cube led them to Earth, but he's saying, but we're too late. So then the movie actually opens up, besides just the dialogue. It opens up with the soldiers on the military like transport airplane, and all of them are just thinking about like the perfect day. We got Tyrese. Shout out Tyrese.
Yep.
Apparently he paid to be in the movie. Did you guys see that? Yeah. He auditioned to be in the movie, but he actually paid Michael Bay because he said he was such a huge Transformers fan that he paid him. And then Michael Bay was like, yeah, he paid me. I pocketed his money. And I told him, yeah, put him in the movie. Oh, no, they didn't say how much. I guess so.
Apparently.
That's crazy.
Like nepotism, just bribing. It all works in Hollywood, I guess.
I wonder how much he offered him, though. Because I feel like a lot of people could have just been like, yo, put me in the movie. I feel like maybe that happens more often than we know.
Yeah, you're right.
But those two are just open about it, and they were just like,
maybe.
But it's not like he had a crate. It's not like he's not like he paid to have like a leading role.
Right.
So maybe that's why it's not as big of an idea. He's had a little role, but I feel like he shined when he was.
Throughout all the movies that he's in, he's not bad. Like he's not like what he is in Fast and Furious or anything like that. But
I mean, his character's pretty
left
similar.
Left cheek.
oh my!
But as it goes on, we get the. We get the unidentified aircraft, which is Decepticon, and it lands, messes with all their tech, and it takes out like their whole base, like all their tech and everything. And so what did you think of the opening scene, just in general, like this whole like action scene?
Great way to open the movie. I feel like we get to see a Transformer right away. This is what we came for, right?
No, exactly.
We came to see Transformers. He comes in, he starts killing everybody. He's wiping everybody, and we see right away they have like our human technology is no match for them.
Yeah.
So like right away we set up, okay, this is what the Transformers like. It looks awesome, and they're big and bad, and we can't take them. So we're like, okay, we've already established all that in this opening scene, and I just have to shout out a couple lines actually.
Okay, yeah.
One that like the commander said when he's because he's flying toward the base, and they're trying to tell him like, no, this is U.S. airspace, get out of here, and he calls in people to go get him, and he says, "Bogies in the weeds, 10 miles out, not squawking." And I'm like, why can't they just speak normal?
Like they do that in military movies. They make it seem like they don't talk normally.
That's what I'm saying, but like,
but that line do go hard though.
Yeah.
it's
And you understood exactly what he was saying.
It was so funny about bogeys in the weeds, 10 miles out, not squawking.
I didn't even realize you said that, to be honest. That's a good catch.
It made me laugh. And I just had to say, right when the attack starts, Tyrese is running. He's like, they bombed the antenna farm. We're under attack. And I never noticed this, but I noticed this in this rewatch. So they like the Decepticon took out the antenna farm right away, so they couldn't like call out for help.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was like, oh shit,
That's smart.
I never noticed that, but I clocked it this time.
So for me, the start of the film, I remember it's the first time my dad had goosebumps in the movie because he's an audiophile.
Okay,
so
yeah.
like sounds and stuff go crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So when Blackout transforms and you hear that
Oh, yeah.
in the theater, it's crazy. And every time I watch it on like my sound system, I make sure that it's loud. The
Okay,
bass,
yeah.
you feel it because it's just so good. And I just like he's like, oh shit, like seeing him get excited, I was like, okay, like this is gonna be fun. And like Scott's right, like the fact that he's using actual tactic to cut communications so that they can't call for help, and then he's using his advanced weaponry, his advanced tactics, he doesn't even say anything. He just walks up, rips the roof off the command center, and reaches down for the server farm to try and download all that data.
Yeah.
And there's a funny part here where it's like, we're just gonna I can't unlock it to cut communications. And there's an axe right beside you, but you have to wait for the commander to come and do this for you.
It's like, it's locked. I need a key, bruh.
To figure it out.
I didn't even notice that either. You guys are catching these things. That's a good point. Oh,
Well, you had to know what was going on.
yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you're looking for little pieces.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
I didn't have that responsibility this time.
That's fair. I do got to point out the one thing I did see then when I was doing my research is that they actually used real soldiers for like this scene.
Yeah.
And they were just like paid extras in there. I thought that was interesting
Oh,
too.
that's dope. That's
yeah,
really good.
Because then it was just like, well, these guys, we don't have to teach guys how to like make sure look like, because they tried their best to make this movie look real in the sense of like when they were actually like moving around and stuff. They're like, why don't we just like get actual guys to do it and just pay them what they'd get paid just to be extras? And I was like, yeah, it just makes sense.
The last thing I have to say about the scene, when like our team that survives, when they're like running away from that little scorpion bot or whatever, they're kind of hiding in these tanks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so there's tanks.
Yeah.
There's rows of tanks. Like they have 100 tanks. Why aren't they using these?
Not everybody's a tank operator.
Yeah,
Bro, I don't care if you're a tank operator or no one's a tank operator.
Well, there might be a small number of them, but not everyone's a tank operator. They don't
Okay,
know.
but did you see a single tank in action?
No, but they're not always in that. They're not always in service. That part doesn't bother me because it's
brother. If there's 100 tanks right there, you got to use at least one of them. Why are they sitting there?
See, I don't
know how long it takes to get a tank up and running, but I don't think
Try. They're not even trying. Come on, bro.
I was just gonna say I went when I went to the War Museum. I went inside a tank. It looks complicated. It's not just like go shoot. There's a lot going on. You're making it seem like
No, I'm not
just
saying
jump in.
that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying they have all these tanks and no one is trained to use them.
I guess so. No.
Okay, but fair enough. But in that small man unit, it doesn't surprise me that there's nobody they're special ops. They don't often always have like artillery and stuff like that and a tank operator. They're all specialized to be foot soldiers
But then why do you have the tanks there?
yeah, because it's on a base. There's gonna be people operating tanks on a base.
That's what I'm saying. Where are they? You're literally making my point. You said there's going to be people operating tanks on a base. We're on a base. There's the tanks. Where are the people
They
operating?
were the first ones to get
They were
killed.
they were in the
Okay.
antenna farm.
They were the first ones to
They were
get
in the
killed.
antenna farm. Got wiped out by Blackout.
He knew.
Why are the tank operators in the antenna farm room?
They were
They're not
recording a
antenna
pod.
farm workers.
What if they were recording a tank pod?
What? Just stop.
So then, We after the attack, we get Sam who's doing his presentation. He's showing off his great grandfather's stuff, and we get to already see that he's not a cool guy. We get Trent who's hitting him with freaking elastic. We see Mikaela for the first time with him, and he does his whole presentation, and then like the class ends. The teacher wants to give him a B minus, but he's like, "Yo, I need an A for me to get my car." And he folds and gives him an A minus from a B minus to an A minus just from talking. He folded fast.
I respect it.
I guess he shouldn't really didn't like his shit at all. I'm surprised he even gave him a B minus, to be honest. A B minus to an A minus is a big jump.
Yeah.
It's
a
huge,
big jump.
Huge jump.
It's not like a B plus. Yo, can you give me that that A minus?
Yeah.
A B minus. That's almost a C plus.
Yeah, but it's just for like a little presentation, and he's
That's
like,
fair.
"If I get this, I can get my
I don't know
car.
why
Like,
he
help me
hated
out."
it so much, though. That's some cool shit he brought in.
Yeah, but he's trying to sell
He's
it.
just
in his class.
selling it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That is true.
He literally says, "You're trying to hawk your dead grandfather's stuff in my class. Like
That's
this
crazy.
isn't what you're supposed to be doing." And that's like you said, crazy to go from a B minus
To an
to
A minus.
an A minus.
He's helping out our boy Sam.
I guess so. But then he gets to his dad, tells him the exciting news that he got his A. So then they go to get to the new car, and we get Bernie, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
So we get to see Bumblebee as the we don't get to see him as the old we do get to see him as like the old Camaro. And it does like the most, like, was just destroying everything around, because he wants to pick him at first, but Bernie's like, that's not even on our lot. Like, what's his name again? I'm calling him Bernie. What was the character name again?
Bobby Bolivia.
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby Bolivia without the runs.
Yeah, without the.
Like the country, except without the runs. He's cooking in this.
Oh
scene.
no, he is
Yeah.
cooking in this scene.
I'm gonna say it right now. He's my sixth man.
Okay.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
He has like maybe 5 minutes of screen
Yeah.
time,
We made the most of it.
and like, hey boy, Bobby Bolivia, just like the country, but without the runs. And then he's like, hey mammy,
Oh yeah.
hey mammy. Oh, fire to rock, I bust your head. Bitch. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a kids movie. I was like, oh,
It's like she's deaf.
she's dead. He's hilarious. I mean, Bernie Mac is just
Yeah,
hilarious.
Bernie Mac is hilarious, man.
But yeah, I just had to give him the shout out right now. He's my sixth man.
I know.
100%.
It's mad respectable. He's fucking hilarious. It's between him and someone else for me. And like,
Yeah,
he's fucking.
I bet I know who yours
Exactly.
is.
I feel like this movie is. You can almost argue this is a black movie. We got a lot of
Facts.
black. A lot of the comedy in the movie is black.
You're right.
It's
Anthony Anderson.
Anderson,
Right.
Tyrese,
Yeah.
and Bernie Mac. It's like that's
Facts.
all like the comedy of the movie.
And Shia was funny too.
Yeah,
man.
true.
Like Shia had some
no,
bars,
he's
man.
good.
He was cooking in this. Like when he's going back and forth with his parents,
oh yeah.
and like his parents were funny in this too. Like he was cooking.
I was a huge Shia LaBeouf fan, even from
Even
like
Stevens.
even Stevens. Like that kid was a menace.
Back to nostalgia.
and
Let's go back for 20 minutes.
It was so, but I was. This is before I even really like understood actors and movie and like really paid attention to who's in the movie. So
Yeah.
I was really excited to see even Stevens
Yeah.
in
Oh, no, same.
Transformers. So I was like, oh,
100%.
this is dope. And he was cooking.
Oh no, he was good.
My boy was cooking.
I
He
think
was
one
cooking.
thing you can't say, like even if you don't like the second, the third one, he's always good in them. He's always brought funniness to the movie. It's just the script, but like and he ad libs a lot of things too. I'll get into a little bit of that later, but he's hilarious.
Is he actually? Does he have any lines in the second one? Is it not just Bumblebee?
Wow.
Bro, how many times in that second movie is he just like he's about to die? Bumblebee.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. Speaking of Bumblebee though, I have a question that leads into this
Okay.
too, because he wasn't the Volkswagen. Like the Volt, like that he usually is like in the comics. I don't know. You kind of spoke on how like you did that wasn't your guy anyway. But how do you just in general? How do you guys feel about like on adaptations? Just in general, like it kind of ties into like the Wolverine thing too, where it's just like something might be a certain way in a comic, an anime, or cartoon, and maybe they'll change it a little bit just to make it a little more modern. Like those things upset you that much? I know some people get like, nah, like he wouldn't have. He wore a blue shirt. It was more of a light blue. You know what I mean?
Like they're true diehards. For me,
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me in this movie because they're trying to do product placement, right? Like
Yeah.
if you notice, all the vehicles are
Yeah.
GMC products.
No, for sure.
Like or
Yeah.
whatever their big umbrella company is.
Yeah.
They're all that type of vehicle, so it doesn't bother me. And do you want to see a Volkswagen or a freaking Camaro? What do you like? What do you want to see here?
Yeah, doesn't bother me too much. It's, I just want to see a good movie, man.
Yeah.
And if it works with the rest of, like, if you were gonna make him accurate to the cartoons or whatever, than all the other Transformers would have to be.
Yeah.
And they kind of played with them, because I was actually reading in my research, that they took a long time testing like how they were going to get the Transformers to transform, how they would look in the robots, and they tried to avoid like that boxy look from the cartoon. So like whatever you're doing to one, you have to do to all of them. So I have no problems with them taking the liberty like that.
Yeah. No, and I agree. And it's an unpopular opinion, and I don't want to go too long on it, but like I feel like, and again, I feel like that ties more in probably the fact that like I didn't grow up in the 80s or the 90s probably, but sometimes like when I see certain like adaptations and people get mad at them, I'm like, unless they make those things like in the 80s or in the 90s, it just doesn't fit, I feel like. And to me, again, it's an unpopular opinion, but like I feel like Wolverine in that yellow suit, because what they tried to make those movies was not like 90s. 90s was very like vibrant and like bright colors. So if he was running around in that yellow ass suit in like the 2000s, those 2000 movies, I don't think it would have worked. I know it's an unpopular opinion. And I think the same thing with the Transformers. Like the way they looked in the cartoon would look way too strange in just like a regular 2000s world. It just looks really strange. Again, I didn't grow up on those cartoons, so I understand people be like, yeah, but those you don't understand. And I agree. I was trying to relate to other things, but I was like, it doesn't really work. Like, because most of the things I'm thinking like Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade,
Dragon Ball.
Like Dragon
when
Ball
the Dragon Ball Z movie came out and Goku was white.
Yeah, I don't think they should even just. That's my opinion. Most anime movies, they shouldn't even make adaptations because it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all because they're so out there.
Yeah,
like just Goku's hair, for example. You can't make that live action.
And not even that. Like
stupid.
The fighting, like it happens so fast. They're flying and they're all super jacked and they're shooting stuff out of their hands. Like trying to do that in live action, it just looks dumb.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But anyway. We'll keep moving on. We end up in Washington, D.C., and we see the defense team. We meet Maggie for the first time, and they're just kind of discussing what happened in the attack. Later on, we get Sam. He's back at home. He's trying to sell the glasses on eBay. His dad is he's super anal about the grass and like stepping on it and stuff. He's like, the tiles are for the tiles. Like, don't step on my grass. I'm like, all right, Dad.
Honestly, that killed me in the theater because my dad is anal.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh. Is exactly that guy. Like out there all the time, manicuring his lawn. Like him and my grandfather, that's their shit. So it was perfect. Like I felt like my life.
I get a garden, but a grass. I don't want to get too long on it.
I never got it until I got my own grass. Now I'm not as anal as him.
Okay,
but like I want a nice lawn,
But you get cheated someone steps on your grass?
No.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not as bad as him.
Yeah.
But I had to shout out when we were back at DC, like you said, and we were learning about the attack or whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny because they have the room full of all these hackers, and the guy leans over. He's like, "Guys, that's the Secretary of Defense," and we're like, "Oh, okay, oh shit." And then the guy comes to introduce him, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary of Defense." And I'm like, "Why did they have that in the movie?
Yeah.
What?" Like you have one or the other.
Yeah,
like you really didn't need both.
They wanted to show that guy knew. They wanted to show that he knew. Oh, this guy knows shit.
This guy knows.
This guy knows shit.
And also, I have a question.
Go.
Why does Sam? Because he comes back and he's trying to sell the glasses on eBay, right? And he's like, "Oh man, no bids."
Yeah.
Why is he so thirsty for money?
I don't know.
He tells you, "I need the money. I had the money to get the car." And then I need the money to take out the girl, but now I need the girl. He literally lays it out.
Well, there you go. You answered my question. Nice.
No, but my thing is like, why is selling stuff on eBay though? Why didn't he try to get a job or something? Or like, I don't know. Yeah.
Shortcuts for money. Everybody does.
Yeah, I
something,
guess.
Like,
I guess that's true. No, you're right.
I'm not gonna knock the hustle.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's true. We also have like that cliche, which I feel like is like a weird cliche in movies. I just want to bring it up quickly. It's just like, when a dude has like his bedroom and like he's like got like half naked girls all over his wall. Like, did you guys ever do that? Like, I feel like that's a weird cliche that I'm like, who does that? Because you're in high school, you live at home, your parents are gonna come in your room.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have like half naked girls on my wall. I feel like you see that in movies a lot. What teenager is doing that?
And also, you're right.
Yeah.
And there's junk all over his room and everything. And he has the biggest room of all time.
my
And like, why does every kid in these movies have the best room?
Only child syndrome. Actually, he's not an only child. He says he has a sister actually.
But also, like his parents don't get the best room. This is your house. You're taking the master. Why does every kid always have the best room, man? I'm always so jealous. He's got like the hoop. He's shooting hoops.
Yeah.
He's got like 4 windows wrapped around his room. It's
doesn't-
like this is lit.
He doesn't have a wall. Everything is covered in poster.
Yeah, facts.
yeah. Everything. You know what's funny too? Like another cliche that they did in the movie is what's that? The jock with his douchey like
Oh, like Trent?
Trent
Yeah.
in class with his like popped collars, douched with a lifted truck. Why did you hop in the back of my little truck?
My little bunny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my
of
god!
course.
Like, what a dick.
So after that, the scene with Sam, we get the survivors of the attack looking for safety. And we see a Decepticon from the distance watching them. I don't know if you want to say anything about that scene. It's just like a little quick.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. And then we get Sam and Miles who crash a beach party. And Mikaela fights with Trent, as we were talking about, that Jahmari was mentioning. And she leaves. And Sam, he doesn't only do Miles dirty, he does him filthy.
Bro, I have this written down too.
That's not your
What is
boy?
That's crazy. If I was with y'all and we pull up to this beach and you're like, oh, I'm feeling this girl, you got to get on my whip. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, you're not.
Drove me here.
That's crazy.
Okay, Jahmari, go.
Nah.
You're kicking us out to drive a girl home.
For Megan Fox, brother.
Okay, yeah.
Brother, please.
Now we're talking about two different
Please,
things.
I will see you on Monday. Like, get the hell out of here.
At least give me bus fare or something. I don't
that's
know.
crazy.
You just left him dry.
I got $250 with your name on it, my
Oh
boy.
my god,
Just-
man.
He didn't even do that?
Oh yeah, he didn't do anything.
See, I'm better than Sam with Wickedy. Or with Wiki.
Wait. You sound like the guy from
You just,
S7.
you just said you know every single Power Rangers movie, every single Transformers
Brother,
show that
do you know
came out.
me-
You don't know his name?
do you know how
the
many
main
times
character of the movie?
They don't get his name right intentionally in the
What does
film.
that got to do with you?
I did it on purpose, just like they do in
No,
the
you
film.
didn't. Get
just
out
like
of
they
here.
do, just
You
like they
didn't
do in
do
the film. They mess up his last name every single time another character says it, and he always corrects them.
I also got to mention,
Yeah.
she like you said, like you had just mentioned, Jahmari. You said, he said, "Why don't my little bunny get in the back seat?" And she's like, "Oh, I can't tell you how much I'm not your little bunny." But literally 2 seconds before that, she pulls up and like hugs him from behind.
Yeah.
She was just loving on him and like.
Well, she can get angry after being insulted, and she doesn't even get shotgun. She gets put in the back seat.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
If that's your girl,
I didn't even take that in. Yeah, that is weird. That's not his girl, clearly.
Yeah.
But
so
It
she
just was his girl.
and she can change like that. She
That's
got
crazy.
cheese. She was like, "I'm gonna walk home."
Damn.
so then we get them. This is another thing that cheesed me. She's in the car with him, and she's driving her. And I actually thought this was funny too. Another thing I thought was funny, this is what I was talking about, the ad libs. Like he ad libs a lot, and apparently in this scene, like a lot of the jokes, like he was doing like the arm
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
and all that stuff.
Flexing.
Apparently there was a lot of stuff, like different things he tried out, and they had to keep reshooting them because she kept laughing. Because he was just like, yeah, like I went to fat camp, and he's like, oh yeah, he's like, yeah, everybody died though. Because he's like, I got better. They all just died. Exactly, that's what she did.
That's
it's like it wasn't in the
What?
lines, and he just starts saying shit like that.
That's actually amazing. I didn't know Shia was funny like
I know.
that.
I didn't know that either. He's got bars. Yo.
He does
He's got
have
a lot
Oh
of.
my god, that's so jokes.
I did not. That's, where did you see that? Like in a deleted
behind this-
scene?
it was
That's
it was-
amazing.
delete. And then she was like saying, he's like, yeah, he did so many ad lib things, and we had to keep shooting because he kept cracking me up. And they're like, okay, say this one. He's gonna say this one. Now you know it. No ad libbing. And then I was like, he was like, what a G, yo. What he really was is like, yo, I got Megan Fox. Let me put my best.
Yeah,
yo.
seriously.
Game 6 LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. This
Yeah,
man was
exactly.
writing notes in his chain. He's like,
Sam
this one,
Sam
this one.
Wiki was spitting, but Shia was
Yeah,
too.
he was really big. But this was the thing that cheesed me, though, that the fact that when they were in the car together later on after that, she asked, are you new to the school?
That's crazy.
Are you new to the school? And they've known each other since grade 1.
But that's the thing, though. Like, it's another reason. Like, when everybody's messing up his name.
Yeah.
he's a nobody.
Yeah.
They're not-
Yeah.
they don't really. He blends into the background. He's a loser. His friend's climbing a tree at the beach.
Yeah, I
But
get
here's
why
the-
they do it for his character,
Yeah.
but that's still that's mad disrespectful.
And my thing is that, like, be honest, though. Like, we knew all the weird kids. Even if you're not friends with the weird kids at your school, like, you think kindergarten stuff, you remember them all. Now we're so far removed.
Yeah.
But let's say we're in high school. The weird kids from grade 1 that were in your school and you were like there from kindergarten to grade 6 or whatever, you remember them.
I will say, there are some people, like if I go back to my yearbook and I'm like, I promise I don't remember. But I also have a horrible memory.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. It's
It's
but if
possible.
But that's also now. Like you said, we're so far removed.
Yeah.
Like right in the moment, I'm sure I would have known who they were.
But to me, that was some Junsu energy. Scott knows what I'm talking about. You don't know about Jun? Do you know about Junsu?
Junsu, no, unfortunately, I do not.
The listeners know.
Yeah.
Sam was on some Junsu energy. How you gonna
Yeah.
How you gonna still rock with a girl that asked if you were new to the school? Get out of my damn car.
Megan Fox is the
I'm
answer.
going back to get my boy.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going.
Brother, I promise you, no. She gets ridden home.
All right, but leading up to this, we get the classic. I like to call it the boys to men scene. The scene of Megan Fox fixing the car turned a lot of boys to men.
Yeah.
But honestly, I thought that looking back now, because I haven't seen it in a while, the scene wasn't that crazy.
No.
It wasn't that crazy. It was
yeah.
like showing off her belly. For some reason, I remember
Her
it being
glistening
more. No,
belly
it was glistening,
in
but
the-
for some reason, I thought it was more sexualized, and I was like, it was gonna be kind of cringe. But like,
I don't know why, but in my I literally thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know why, but in my brain, I picture her opening up the hood and like the smoke all
That's
came
what I
out,
mean,
and there was none of that. And I was
Yeah.
like, huh.
he was just like looking at her belly, and he was just like, biting his lip. I'm like, all right, dog, damn, you ever seen a bare midriff before?
Something that cheesed me about this scene too, I was like, so he's driving her home, right?
Yeah.
And his car breaks down, and it's at the perfect hillside.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how is this on her way home? Where does she live?
Bumblebee got game. He saw that. He's like, this is where
Yeah,
we're
that's
breaking
true.
down.
That is
Okay, but
Bumblebee.
wouldn't she be like, we're not going toward my house. Where are
Yeah.
you taking
But
me?
they just left the beach, so if it's like a windy, where they're in
They're at a
Washington.
lake.
Where are they?
No, they're not in Washington. I think Washington is just where
No,
the.
does it say? I don't think
I
it
don't
says
remember.
where
I
they
don't
are.
think it does say where
They're in
they
an
are.
undisclosed city.
Yeah. So let's assume it's LA and it's
Okay.
a windy road to a beach. You know, there's a potential for that little peak stop.
Right.
All right.
I'm not mad at that. But yeah, I was curious what you guys thought. I was wondering,
Yeah.
am I tripping or wasn't the scene wasn't that crazy?
Yeah, not as
no,
crazy as I remember.
Salacious.
I agree.
As
When I was younger,
from
I
what I
remember.
remember.
Like, damn, she's kind of bad.
Yeah.
she's still bad.
No,
But
yeah, but
it wasn't as crazy. Like Scott was saying, like the smoke, like.
Yeah, but anyway,
maybe it's a Mandela effect. You know, like you
Yeah.
just imply it or whatever.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, so we get the Pentagon scene. So it's where Frenzy, the little robot guy, he hacks into their system, and he kind of learns about Sam. It's a big scene, but that's basically the gist of what happens. I don't know if you had
Yeah.
anything on that. Him like breaking in and then.
So actually, that scene always killed me. The start of it because it opens up. It's on Air Force One, and the steward. He gets called to the president thing. He's like,
Oh,
can I get some ding dongs?
Yeah, and it's so clearly
Yeah.
George Bush.
Yeah,
like the red
always-
socks.
yeah.
I was like, oh,
No,
man.
that was
That
good.
always kills me. But yeah, you're right. It's just kind of like a throwaway scene, other than him just getting information, and it's another attack.
Yeah.
On the defense.
Well, I
network.
think it just shows how the Decepticons get Sam's contact, right?
Yeah.
Because we see later on that they start chasing Sam, and then Bumblebee and that Decepticon have that big fight. And if they just jump to that, we'd be like, how the hell do they know who Sam is?
Yeah, no,
So,
it's true. And
this is
again,
how they found out.
I didn't think of it too much as like a throwaway scene. I think more just so like I didn't think we needed to talk
No,
about it.
100%.
detail.
Yeah, you're right.
like it's like, this is what happened. You
Yep.
know what I mean? The only thing that just reminded me is like, why the hell did Sam have that as his eBay picture and not change it? It's the worst picture.
Ladies Man 117
And he's just
217.
or 2.
Yeah.
Sorry. How do you see? You remember that, but you can't remember his last name.
brother.
It wasn't intentional. Don't try that. Don't try that.
Oh, but yeah. So then the next thing we get Sam. He thinks his cars are being stolen, and he follows Bumblebee and sees him transform for the first time, and he's tripping out. He calls the cops, saying like all this nonsense, which I whatever. But he keeps.
There's a part in this exact scene that pissed me off when I rewatched it for this pod. When he's doing the videotaping of him.
Yeah.
So he's showing it's a flip phone.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a front camera, but he's recording with the front side open, trying to do his face. I was like, "What are you doing? Like, there's no camera on the front of a flip phone like that."
His did.
Okay, you know
You
what?
don't know, yo. This is a world where Transformers exist,
come on.
dog. You don't think there's a camera on the front?
2007 was still the year, brother.
So, what do you mean? There's Transformers. Why does it matter if it's 2007?
our technology is still the same.
Is it though?
Yeah.
But in this
I'm with
world,
you, Mariah, on this.
they know that maybe they did something.
That's a nice argument. my boy.
I don't know, man. Shut up. That's my argument. But the weird thing is though, like after he calls the cops and they pull up, they arrested him, but he's the one that made the call. I don't understand.
But they don't know who made the call. They just assume that he's in the area.
But there's no car there. There's no stolen car. So why are they just immediately arresting the first guy they see?
Because he's trespassing. He's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I think it's more that.
That's true. That's a good point. But yeah, so that is that scene. The next thing we get is we get Meg, who tries to tell them, like, well, this is now we're back into the, I guess, Washington again, and she's trying to tell them that because they think it's like North Korea or Russia, and she's like, it's not a country that's responsible for this, like the hacking. It's something bigger than this. But John Kelly, like the guy that's like the head of all the thing, he says that he needs some proof and kind of like kicks her out. Do you have anything about this or no?
Nope, I'm good.
No, not really.
It's just an exposition dump.
Yeah, and then so Sam is with the cops who thinks that he's on drugs. Man calls like, you a 50 Cent? Like he's like, is this what the kid's doing with Mojo? He's like, that's my dog. Like,
That's my dog's medicine. You eyeing my piece? You eyeing my piece? He was low key cooking too.
No, he kind of was.
That guy was kind of cooking too. Now that I think about it.
The 50 Cent line actually kind of got me. You eyeing my piece, 50 Cent?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, why is he the way he was talking to him? It was like a hip cop trying to talk to a black dude. I was like, why is he talking to Sam like that? Why is he calling him 50 Cent?
Yeah, he was cooking, man. Now that I think he might be a seventh man.
Is this what the kid's doing now? Mojo? Stupid ass.
All right, fill her up. No drippy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then I remember that line when Sam was like, "Are you on drugs?" I remember that popped me when I first saw the movie theaters because it's just like a nice cut joke, and then right into the next scene. Because then we get right back to the survivors. I just keep calling them the survivors, like Tyrese and all those guys.
Yeah.
They get attacked by that scorpion Decepticon that was watching them from a distance. And apparently this was supposed to be Qatar, but it was actually shot in New Mexico. And I saw that when they were filming it, it was between 150 and 120 degrees. So that's 48 degrees Celsius. God, hot as balls. And Tyrese missed 3 days before that because he was sick. That was his first day back on set to come to that weather. He literally felt like he was gonna die.
Left cheek.
Well, honestly, like it's pretty authentic. It'd be as hot as
No,
hell.
for sure. 48 degrees. It's crazy.
And they're
man.
wearing all this gear
all that
and carrying all this stuff.
Yep.
Damn.
And that's what I was thinking about when I was rewatching this. I was like, how long have they been walking? A. B.
Long time.
Where the fuck are they getting water?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
You'd be dead.
Like I don't know if they have, maybe they just had resources or something.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good point.
That's really stuff, and it's with a kid too. Like you'd have to take care of the kid that's taking you to call for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I guess it can't have been that far.
Yeah,
Like they were walking maybe a day or
Yeah.
two. Like nothing super crazy.
day in that heat.
Yeah.
We did get that little funny scene with him like calling the guy and like the support guy.
So
I like that.
That was
scene.
good.
This bothered me because I was like, it's this easy to call the Pentagon. You can call like and get transferred.
Yeah.
Like there's no proof that it's you.
Well,
like,
whose
you can
phone was he calling on?
He called off of the kid's dad.
Yeah, just a cell phone.
That then connected the long distance call to the Pentagon, and then that's where Tyrese, his character, is giving the orders, and it's like it's that simple. There's no proof.
Well, I mean,
nothing.
they just didn't show us the whole aspect. Like he would have gone and been like, yes, I'm this person in an emergency situation, code, blah 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 blah. Like he would have said all that shit. We don't need to see all that.
Fair enough, but it just made me laugh. I was like, it's that easy to call the U.S.
Yeah.
like defense headquarters.
Well, I got more on the Pentagon later. So
Yeah. But eventually they get through. They have their huge fight, and it still escapes though, which is crazy. All that big of a fight, and then still a little bit of its tail breaks off. And I do got to mention, you hinted at a little bit earlier, the whole left cheek. That's a part of the movie that stuck with me. Like that's the first thing I don't know why. Because me and my dad, because
you think of Tyrese's cheeks?
When I told my dad I was watching Transformers, first thing he said is left cheek, left cheek, left cheek. So this is for him because you're gonna listen to this. He's like, you gotta mention left cheek. Scott mentioned
I got
before
you.
me.
Hey, I got
This is
you.
the second left cheek nod.
This major action scene is probably one of my favorite in the entire film. Like,
Okay.
them calling in the gunship, them actively like trying to take this thing down, and then you hear the boom of the gunship when that shit was crazy. And then the first like real slow-mo shot of Tyrese and Lennox coming up to see the damage, and then it just digging back down. Man, I just love that.
Yeah, and
whole
Tyrese is on the
sequence.
phone. He's calling out all these instructions. They're throwing smoke. So we see our first like military action. Like in the big fight, we see it again.
Yeah.
And like you had mentioned, like that a lot of the extras were real soldiers because the U.S. military actually helped a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Like they provided planes for the movie, and they helped out a lot. So like the military is very prominent in it. So seeing it in action was really, really cool. And our first like fight, really, because the first time we saw that the Decepticon land on the base, he just kind of wipes them all out because he catches them by surprise. So this is our first kind of like head-to-head matchup with like the humans against the Transformer. It's pretty sick. And then, like you said, there's that funny little jump of him on the phone, like, this is call center. You know, how can I assist you? But, sir, yelling is not going to make this any easier.
Can I interest you in our gold package?
I need a credit card.
You know, that's a scene I forgot about. So when that was happening, I was like, "Oh, that's good." Nice little back and forth. I like that. But yeah, so then afterwards, we get Maggie, who makes we get her back in I think they're in the Pentagon at this point, and she's making a copy of the chip that has all the information because she wants to give it to her hacker friend Glenn, who's played by Anthony Anderson. And they find out pretty quickly that a copy's been made. But at that point, she's already over there. And we get the classic SWAT breaking in meme. His boy gets tackled into the pool. And I don't understand why they went so hard for that guy breaking through the glass.
Well, if they're trying to get a perpetrator, you know, this guy's running away. You gotta get him. Like,
no, that was good.
Nobody on the carpet.
Yeah.
My grandmama hates people on the carpet.
that whole sequence was just jokes. Like his cousin freaking out, them like playing video games.
Yeah, even the things
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
That whole sequence is just great, and like I love the dynamic of Maggie and Glenn together. Like, that was so funny, and like the scene coming up with them.
Oh, the investigation.
Oh my god,
no,
bro. That shit kills me.
With the donuts.
Oh,
See, they put this in front of you to test you. But like, do they?
Yeah,
Like,
I
don't know. I've never been interrogated.
Yeah.
No, you're right. But like, I feel like they don't just put a plate of donuts on there.
Especially for that high level of
You stole
national security.
You stole a chip from the Pentagon.
Yeah.
That contains a signal that hacked an army base that was destroyed by a alien robot. This is like the top of the top secret.
Yeah.
They didn't just shoot on sight like that.
That's another thought that I had. I was like, I'm shocked they only tackled this brother into the pool.
Damn.
It is jokes to think that like she just did a copy and paste and think it'd get back to her. She literally just copied and pasted and thought, this will be fine.
Yeah.
They're not gonna notice anything. Like they're like she's not a hacker herself and knows how crazy they are with like she's an analyst herself. But I thought that was funny because at first I was like, damn, they found out that quick. I forgot that they found out that quick. It's like she gets there, somebody made a copy and then they pull up. And it's like shit, but so then the next scene that we get Sam. He's biking away because Bumblebee pulls back up. Because at that point, after he gets arrested and everything, Bumblebee was gone. And he thought, okay, that's an alien robot, whatever. But he pulls back and he gets shook. So he starts biking away on his mom's bike. I thought it was like his little sister's bike at first, but later he says it's his mom's bike.
He says,
okay, that was wrong earlier. I thought it was.
Oh, that what you're thinking when he said he had his sister later?
I thought it was his sister.
No, it's his mom's bike.
Why does his mom still have the freaking little?
That's what I was thinking, and it looked tiny too. It looked like a little ass bike. His mom looked like it was like maybe the same size as him, but I don't know. But on his way there, he sees Mikaela. Obviously, he falls off, so she follows him. We get that a police car attack with it's just the police cars from him. He thinks it's their actual cops, but it's a Decepticon, and it starts like messing with them. But Bumblebee comes in for the save. At that point, Mikaela gets there, and then there's a whole Transformers fight. We get Sam and Mikaela fighting them for a little frenzy. Frenzy turns into the phone as they're leaving, and my thought here is like we can talk more about the scene. I just kind of want to break down the scene, but my first question is: did you think Bumblebee killed the police car at first?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like sparking from his chest. And he's like,
and then
that's what I thought. I thought he was dead. And then
we see him later.
Spoilers.
Yeah, like you see him later.
Yeah.
But what did you think about this whole scene? There's a lot going on here, but
yeah, it's a great scene. Like seeing, like I had just said, we saw the humans and the Decepticons fight for the first time. Now we're seeing the Autobots and the Decepticons fight. So two Transformers fighting each other. That was super cool. But the one thing that got me, I was like, how long is this fight. Because Sam, when he leaves on his bike, it's daytime.
Yeah.
And the Decepticon tries to get him. This is all daytime.
Yeah.
And then Bumblebee scoops him up and they drive away.
Yeah.
And then it's nighttime when they're fighting Frenzy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And Bumblebee, we think, kills him.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
I
hours.
was trying to take that in. Maybe it was just right on the cusp of like it was 7 and then
It didn't look like dusk.
took an hour.
It did not look
Yeah, it
like
did
dusk.
look like
it was
midday.
quite.
No, that's true.
It was
I
quite
didn't
bright
even take
out.
that in.
When
That's a good point.
I think when they leave like the underground parking, you can kind of see it's like a little bit like ombre. So the sun
Okay.
might have been
Ombre.
going down when they're leaving. And also, I don't know if you guys ever picked it up, but do you ever see what it says on Barricade when he's in
Yes.
No, what is it?
To punish and enslave.
to punish and enslave?
Oh,
That's what
really?
it's because
Yeah.
it's on the LA. I think it's LA there, and it says to protect and serve.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that I thought that was like a nice little,
The little
touch.
touch.
Like, oh,
I didn't even
shit,
notice
like,
that.
yeah.
That's actually dope.
It is dope.
The one thing I wanted to say about this scene, what I thought was cool, is again I saw another behind the scenes thing of just when they were, when he was like, when the police, what was his name? The Barricade. When he was attacking him and like did the smash on the car. First of all, when I was a kid, that scene terrified the shit out of me because I was like, yo, these things are massive. It's like that was like the scope of like when you really realize like the amount of danger that they're in. I'm like, hey, the way he swatted him down on the car, I'm like, they're literally like ants, and he's just like, or use her name. I was like, Jesus Christ,
Ladies man 217.
yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I know. that was really good.
My impression, I'm like that.
No,
Bro.
he's like that. He's like that. But yeah, the scene of him like crushing him on the car, I saw like the behind the scenes. They actually had like this giant crane thing that like went like right over him, and he was shook too. He's like, this thing's not gonna like actually hit me, right? And it was because like it seemed so like real, and like the fear in his face. A lot of the stuff like they did was practical, like, and there's something later on that they did that was practical, well, somewhat practical. That was like. That's real fear right there.
I have another thing to add on to that. Something
Yeah.
that we've already seen, so I'll mention it.
Okay,
Was the fight with the Scorpion in Qatar. So when the Scorpion's like digging underground and chasing them, and it's like the sand is popping up.
Yeah.
that was practical. So they had actual like explosives in the ground,
Oh, okay.
and the soldiers are running from it, and they literally said like the explosions happen in succession. So if you stop running, you could get injured or die.
That's a Michael Bay.
And yeah, so I was like,
intense.
I didn't even know they could do that. That's friggin' nuts. But so they said like the look of terror in the actor's face is kind of real because like they have to keep sprinting. Imagine you just trip over and like
No, 100%. You're
that's
done.
I don't know how they could
Sign
even
a
do
waiver.
that.
Probably not anymore.
Yeah, probably
It's
not.
2000s, a little wild, wild west back then.
Yeah,
Not as much as like 70s and 80s, but it's a pretty wild, wild west back then.
yeah.
But anyway, we get them driving away with Bumblebee, and Michaela shits on the on Bumblebee's look, so he knocks them out and he gets a little upgrade into the new
this was
Camaro.
clean.
This was clean, yeah.
So I'm gonna throw my first award out here.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw Bumblebee with the best fit.
Oh, okay,
Because
yeah.
the upgrade, holy, that car
Oh,
is
my
crazy. And ever since that day, like when I see Camaros driving around, I instantly think of Bumblebee.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just like the clean lines, the look,
Oh,
the
my
yellow
gosh.
popping.
They polished the shit out of that,
Yeah.
too.
Oh, it looked so good.
100%.
It looked so good. So that is going to be my fit award because the humans look like
Good
shit
call.
for the
I thought about doing that too. I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I had to say about this is like he drives completely sideways to scan this car, and
Yeah.
nobody does anything.
Yeah, I know.
Like he's just driving down the side of down the middle of the street on his side, and no one. I mean, the only thing I was like, okay, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
Maybe this
but
thing's
like,
a street driver doing cool tricks.
but like,
Yeah.
you didn't have like a quick half-second shot of someone looking like, what
Yeah,
the hell?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could have been a deleted scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
But honestly, I think that would have been funny as hell. Like a little kid in the backseat of his mom's car, like, whoa.
Just real quick. Just real quick. Yeah, exactly.
Also, why? I feel like we've seen them scan cars and not do shit like that. I feel like he could.
Bumblebee got cheese. She's like, you shitting on money?
Yeah.
watch
I gotta
this.
do something
Bet,
dope,
bet,
too,
bet.
yeah.
But they didn't even look. They had their back turned until Bumblebee pulled up.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the answer to all these questions is like, why is this person doing the most? So far, at least, it's been in a scene that Megan Fox is in.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's
Bumblebee's
it.
trying to flex, yeah.
Bumblebee's like Michaela's here. I gotta flex too. And she just called me out. No. I gotta make this happen.
Staying on business, my boy.
Good shit, Bumblebee.
So the next thing we get after this, we get all the asteroids landing on Earth, which are Transformers, and like I was saying, like they're scanning other cars and they're turning into the models that they want to turn into. We get after that we get Sam, who meets Optimus Prime and the whole squad. So we get to meet Jazz, Ironhide, Ratchet. I thought it was funny too because they clearly made Jazz black.
Yeah.
And even Sam even asked, he's like,
Where'd you learn to talk like that?
Yeah, exactly. Where'd you learn to talk like that? He's just like, and Optimus Prime is from the World Wide Web. And that's like, what is he watching? World Star? Like, what was Jazz watching?
He's just watching BET. You eyeing my piece, pretty sir?
Yeah, whatever that cop's watching, that's what fucking
He's just
Jazz is
watching
watching.
so Def Jam and BET. That's all he's watching.
Is very close to my best scene award.
Okay, yeah.
You giving them all away, damn.
Yeah.
No, I said it's very close.
Okay.
But this one holds such nostalgic to me. I think this always I play this music, like I just listen to this music all the time, even when I'm working. The crescendo of it as the asteroids are coming and they're starting to form out of the water. And there's a funny scene here. How is the little girl the only one that wakes up?
I know.
From when Ironhide lands, like your house just shook.
Yeah.
And she's the only one to wake up. And I thought it was cute. Like, oh, are you the Tooth Fairy? Like that was
funny.
cute. But the whole sequence, like the music crescendoing, the Transformers coming up, and Optimus, like they really zoom in and show the sequence of how he's transforming from the vehicle into the humanoid. Like it was just.
I got a beef with this scene though.
Okay.
One of the Transformers that comes down, we see him climbing over a Cadillac sign. So it's a Cadillac dealership. So he climbs over and I'm like, okay. And this is when they were all scanning stuff and turning into cars. So I was like, okay, we're going to see a fresh whip. Motherfucker turns into a Pontiac Solstice. What? Bro. I got so cheesed. I was like, we climbed over a Cadillac sign. We're going to get something fresh.
Yeah.
Pontiac Solstice.
It's the product placement, my boy. Like they had something
Give me a
to
caddy.
sell.
Give me a caddy.
Is that under the GMC umbrella?
They were
Why
too
else
worried
would
about
they have the Cadillac logo?
They just want they paid to be in the movie, but they're like, okay, we don't want to mess up a Cadillac though.
Actually, they do that in some James Bond's movies, like where some of the car brands, they don't want their shit blown up.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's
They just want
in the
them
concept that
shown.
They can't blow it up or destroy it.
I was so
Cadillac-
mad, bro. And it was like, and in the dealership, like there's all the whips lined up, and this is the one that's like turning in the pedestal. I'm like, this is the worst one. Oh, I was so cheesed, dude.
I don't know. I kind of liked Jazz's look.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but it could have been better. And just don't show me the Cadillac. Just don't get my hopes up with
Okay,
Cadillac.
yeah, that's fair.
I think the Cadillac might be too boxy.
There's only one Cadillac?
No, but just the one that they
All
showed.
their models are kind of boxy.
No, I disagree.
Okay. I mean, I think I lean towards you where I'm wild. I mean, that didn't bother me as much. I understand your gripe with it. I feel like with you, different reasons. I just really like that scene. Just because I feel like whenever I think of this movie, it's the left cheek, and it's all. And it's also that's the shot of him looking up at Optimus Prime as he transforms. I feel like that's like the scene that's like
That's
instantly
dope.
in my head.
That's
You hear
super
the
dope.
And it's-
whistles, the wheels stopping, the grinding. Like
Yeah.
just him.
We
Actually,
see
you
it
know
all
what?
happen slowly.
Favorite scene.
Okay,
Right, I'm gonna
alright.
give out another
We
one.
see it happen all slowly, and like
Yeah.
as his chest comes out, and then the wheels turn and lock, and then his face shield drops. Super dope.
Shout out to the CGI team.
100%.
Shout out to Ratchet for throwing Sam under the bus. His pheromones
Oh yeah,
suggest he wants to mate with the female. Sam.
It's like damn, yo.
I mean, why was he embarrassed? Like we knew that.
Yeah,
She had to know that too.
no,
Like
100%. Yeah.
he was spitting the whole time. He kicked his boy out to drive her home. Of
exactly.
course.
Yeah.
She didn't know him until then.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
damn,
That's true.
damn.
But anyway, to get back into the scene, we get Optimus who gives it,
Exposition dump.
what? Yeah, exactly. He's giving the background of the war and in talking about his grandfather's discovery of how he found like Megatron and all that stuff, and how like the imprint of the location of the cube is in his glasses. That's why the glasses are so special. You look, you want to say something?
I have a question about this.
Okay.
And maybe I'll have the answer. So, like you said, so his granddad goes down, activates Megatron, and he imprints the location of the cube on his glasses.
Yeah.
Yep.
How did Megatron know where the cube was? Because as Optimus said, he came and crash landed on Earth, and he got frozen right away. So he came to Earth. He knew the cube was on Earth. How did he know exactly where it was?
I think because Megatron has had it at some point, so I almost feel like he had a radar on it.
Okay, so
kind of thing.
Okay, I'm blowing my load with awards here, but this is a Ferris Bueller for me.
Shit.
Blowing my load.
I've given 3 awards real quick.
No, this is fine. We do this in the show.
Go nuts.
We go in.
This is
You're
my
the
Ferris.
guest.
This is my Ferris Bueller because
Blow your load.
anyways, when they're doing the explanation of how like it became imprinted on his glasses, later on you find out that the cube isn't even in the Arctic Circle anymore.
Oh, that's
it got
true.
moved to the United States. So the coordinates.
No. They didn't move the cube. They moved him. The cube, remember? The cube crashed there and they built the dam around it.
Dam around it. Yeah.
I retract my Furious Bueller.
Okay.
You're going to have to find another one.
Retract your load.
Brother, I have another.
Retract your load.
Spider-Man
pulled
only
out.
shoots
Nice pillow
out.
game.
Hey,
Nice pillow
real quick.
Okay. So now we get a little quick scene of the survivors just investigating the scorpion tail that they have like in their plane. Then we're back to Maggie and Glenn. This is the scene that we were talking about earlier, the investigation scene. Glenn's just telling her to play it cool and everything. And then even when he comes in, he just shoots her a look like,
I got this.
and then immediately folds. All they do is drop a paper on the table and be like, she did it. Did it.
And then he, Sugar Rush.
Yeah.
I was just playing video games with my cousin, man.
Folds so fast, man. He's worse than the
reminds
teacher.
me of my sister, just
Which snitch?
folds under pressure. Couldn't do nothing.
Shout out Lyric.
Nah.
She's probably not listening.
There was no reason to do that.
Yeah. Nah, you want to get something
That's
out.
crazy.
She'll watch.
Now tell her to listen to this one too. Just a little
Lyric
Easter
and all
egg.
your
I talked you up, Lyric. Yeah.
But is there anything you want to say about the investigation or just
that scene.
yeah, just the scene was
cracked me
hilarious.
up.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
funny
it cracked
scene.
me up.
Yeah. So we get Sam with the Autobots at his crib and they're looking for the glasses and man, Optimus Prime is so impatient.
Why did they do that, man?
What do you mean?
Like you're about to say, they're just crawling all over the lawn, messing everything up.
Yeah.
He's like,
Just-
man, let me go get the glasses. Before he's even that in the house,
Yeah.
he's like, Sam, hurry up, dude, bro, give me a second. God damn, I told you my parents are in there. I can't just be like, hey, there's robots outside. I have to grab Granddad's glasses. Give him a second, man.
The thing that popped me too is when he looks outside and they all transform back into trucks. He's like, that is not a disguise. This is a backyard, not a truck stop. This doesn't look right.
We also get our Family Guy moment in this.
Oh, when? Oh,
When-
yeah.
Because I think it's Ironclad that
Ironhide?
or Ironhide.
Yeah.
He falls on the
Transfer
the wires. Yeah, the
Yeah.
wires. Knocks out the power for the whole block, and his
his
dad
dad.
comes out like, "Oh, honey, call the city. We got a blown transformer." I was like, "Hey,
That's true. I didn't even notice that. I noticed when the more that meets the eye lines, but I forgot
Yes.
about that transformer.
Yeah, the more that meets the eye, that was dope. That's right at the end of the movie.
There was another one earlier too.
Oh, is there?
No,
Sam
it's
says
when he's
one
talking to
Michaela.
Sam and he drops off Michaela. My boy got game.
Yeah,
He's
she asked me. She's like, "Do you
more
think
than-
I'm shallow?"
Oh, yes, you're right. You're right.
like,
You're
more
right.
than meets the eye with you.
But the only thing that that makes me think of is why we didn't get a robots in disguise line. Like they never said, "Oh my God, they're robots in disguise." Like when they change into cars or something, be like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" Like
Yeah,
if
that's
they
true.
worked that line in, they couldn't have given us the other one.
That's true.
Right.
Come on.
No, you're right. I don't think they even call them Transformers in this movie.
No,
Yeah,
I
I don't think they do.
I think you're right.
I think that's until the second movie when they actually call them Transformers. But because I think that's just a human given name because they don't call themselves
they're
Transformers.
Cybertronian.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
right,
That's
yeah.
just a human given name.
You're right. You're right.
But this scene was funny to me because then when his parents come in and they're like, "Yo, what's going on here?" Like, I told you not to close your door, and then mom's like, "Were you masturbating?
Yeah.
Were you like?"
She's cooking in
Yeah,
this
no,
scene,
she was
too.
cooking in this scene. And my favorite part about the scene is just the fact that once they see Michaela, they flip. They completely flip, and the mom's like, "Oh shit, she's beautiful."
the dad-
yeah, the dad with the little fist bump.
Bump the fist. Yeah, that's crazy.
And even he's like,
then they leave.
Yeah, he's like, "We'll leave."
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I'm like, damn. They
Lucky
really want him
Sam,
to clap that
dude.
bad.
Yeah.
That's what they gave him the master bedroom. Like maybe this will do something for him.
Yeah.
I just love the family dynamic.
Oh yeah, it's
From
great.
this film, from all three films, really.
Yeah.
Like the mom and dad, they actually genuinely are loving each other. Like their relationship
Yeah.
is hilarious. Their relationship with Sam is fun. Like the dad, like being also his friend, not
Yeah.
only like his father figure. Like
Yeah.
it's funny. And this is another great scene, like you guys said, that shows that off. And the mom was almost close to being a 6-man for me.
Yeah, bro.
Cooking.
I had trouble picking a 6-man for this movie because the side characters are great in this
God,
movie.
they are.
They're
Yeah.
all funny. Like Anthony Anderson's funny. Bernie Mac's really funny. His mom, his dad. They're all cooking. They're all hilarious.
100%. I don't even know if
It's great.
It is good. Like, it was just a good cast.
Yeah.
It was just a good cast for that. And I don't know if everyone's ad lib. I'm sure Bernie and freaking Anthony Anderson, I'm sure they
100%.
ad libbed a lot of shit too. But I don't know about the mom. I don't know. My mom's gonna make her jokes
She
too.
would. I hope so. I mean, because even when they first get back, Sam and his dad, when they bought Bumblebee, and then Sam turns the car on and all the smoke comes out and it's all dirty and everything, and she just hits a wow, you're cheap.
Oh yeah,
Wow, you are so cheap. And
she's not even framed when she kills it.
Delivery, she kills it, man. She's so
It's
funny.
his first car. You're cheap.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a
supposed to
piece
do
of crap, but they're just so fun. And I don't remember this movie being that funny.
Yeah, no,
I
I
didn't
was
remember
thinking
it, but I was watching this and I was laughing, man.
I
was
remember Bernie and Anthony
Yeah.
Anderson being funny, but I didn't realize there was so much extra around. I figured
Especially Shia.
was good. I know I remember Shia being funny,
Okay.
but he killed me in more scenes than I remembered
Yeah.
from the movie. But yeah, no, he's special. He's something else. But then this is when we get the S7 that pulls up and they take everybody. But then the Autobots. This is like a quick thing. It's like they take them. The Autobots save them, reinforcements come in, and then they take Bumblebee and also end up taking them in. This was like a whole thing. I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about this whole S7 situation.
I remember being in the theater, and when they showed like the second command to Seymour was Armin from
Arwen. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So you look, I was like, oh, he got a promotion.
Yeah.
Like he's no longer a janitor.
I wrote that down too. I was like, I even have some of his quotes here. He was like, because after they get the upper hand, because the Autobots come save him, Sam's talking shit to him, and the leader of Sector 7, I can't remember his name. He's like, we're gonna hunt you down, and Arwen's behind him. Yeah, hunt you down.
Yeah,
with no remorse. No remorse. and then when
take
they
him being
leave,
hard.
he's like, oh, we got to tell them. They already know.
Oh, yeah, with the phone.
Speaker. Arwen's cooking.
So my Ferris Bueller is going to be repositioned here, actually.
Okay.
So when they're in the car, and Seymour,
Seymour, is that his name?
Agent Seymour Simmons of Sector 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Is like explaining to Sam like, oh, like Michaela actually has a record, her family's criminals and stuff like that, and he's like looking at her like, oh, she's hot. I was like,
yeah.
brother, that's a high school.
Yeah,
student.
I
know,
have the
that's-
same thing
that
written
is
down.
Wild.
He says, here's the quote: "Criminals are hot, sir.
Yeah, I know.
You're 40 at least."
Why?
That I think
I
that's
forgot
my
about that
Ferris
line,
Bueller.
too. That's wild.
I wrote that down.
It's not P Diddy, but
That's
Yeah.
crazy, bro. She's in high school.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. I don't even know if that's a Ferris Bueller.
That's
Look at
a
something.
that's a
We'll
gonna
give
have
it.
to-
No,
that's
no,
a-
that's a. We'll say it's a Ferris Bueller. Like we
flagrant.
said-
I don't know.
No,
That's
no,
a
criminal. Lock him up.
no, that's wild. You know the funny
Because
thing
right
is,
before that, he even said, "This is my do whatever I want and get away with it badge." That's messed up.
messed up. You know the funny thing is, have you guys ever
Is
seen
Harvey
the Big
Weinstein involved in this?
Mate,
Oh,
he did produce a lot.
shoot. He
He
might.
did produce a lot of movies.
I hope not.
Spielberg fucking produced this. I can't believe he let that slide.
Yeah, that actually bothered me.
Yeah, that was wild.
Watching it again.
Have you guys ever seen The Big Lebowski or no?
No, I haven't.
I've
Okay,
only seen
he's in The
clips.
Big Lebowski, and he's a funny character. His name is Jesus, and he's got a. So whenever I see him in movies and he's trying to act hard or something, even this he was a little goofy, but I always just think, like you have like a character like a
Yeah,
Will Ferrell
yeah.
or something, you try to act hard and something like, nah, I know you are just Jesus.
Yeah,
That's how I felt when I was seeing him in this. But,
but he's funny too.
no, he
like,
is funny. No, he
Literally
is funny.
every side
That was just a wild
character is
line.
killing it.
That was just a wild line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought this was wild. This is not my Ferris Bueller, but I thought it was wild, and this is a very Fast and Furious to me. You know, like when they're hanging, and they're falling. Like Sam's holding Michaela. The
Yeah.
helicopter's going like, Sam, don't get low. I'm slipping, and like they slip, they're falling. And Optimus does what all of us do when we drop something. He tries to kick them to catch them. And I'm like, you're gonna break their ribs. That's not just like softening the
Yeah.
blow. He's kicking them.
Yeah.
That's not my Ferris. But when I was watching that, I was like, yo, dog.
I thought the same thing. I was like, they're getting smoked by metal right now.
Yeah.
This is not good.
I have a lot
Breaking-
wrong with this whole scene in
Okay.
sequence because when they're chasing him, you're a transformer. You're a 30-foot robot running that can transform into a truck. Just transform and drive away.
Yeah, but they just saw Optimus. So I think if they saw a giant truck there, they wouldn't just be like, "Oh, okay." He's
It's not a giant truck. He transforms. He turns down alleys and stuff like that. Like he could have just transformed.
yeah, but they weren't on a road.
Yes, they were on a road.
No, they're
were.
down in like this gully.
Yes,
thing.
that's where they went. But the initial chase sequence where he's running, he's
Oh.
running on a road.
Okay.
And so I was just like, brother, you are a transformer. Please.
Don't tell Optimus Prime what to do.
Hey,
That's
you're
Optimus
right. I
Prime.
apologize.
Stay in your lane.
You know what? You're right. I apologize.
So the next thing is we get John Kelly, who learns about the transformer that was found on Mars from Tom. Tom's just the advanced research division guy that just ran at me. When he pulled up, I thought he was for a second, I thought he was like the cop in the
Same.
Decepticon thing.
Yeah.
The way he just came in all stiff and like he was like almost like robotic. I was like, is this a Decepticon like hologram or something? But they quickly realized that it wasn't. But I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that. But that was just a little quick scene, him seeing the whole Mars thing. It's like, no, we've seen these before. This isn't the first time we've dealt with these. They don't call them Transformers. I don't think they even call them anything.
Aliens.
Yeah,
They
aliens.
just refer to them as aliens. I don't think they are. They don't even call themselves Transformers. And I don't
No, that's
know.
what I was saying
Of course.
earlier. They don't
No.
call themselves Transformers, but I'm like,
call themselves Autobots
in this,
and
they
Decepticon.
didn't think of that name yet, so they just didn't call them anything. But this is when we get the link up, and I like this too. Like I kind of like when you get in a movie when we kind of have all like these side stories going on. Like Glenn and Maggie, its own thing. We get to I call them the survivors, and Sam McKay. Now they're all finally. They didn't really like make it a thing when they all kind of met up, but they're all kind of like a thing. And then when they're in the helicopter, Maggie's like, "Oh, what are you in for?" It's like my robot was a alien.
Yeah.
Who knew? Who knew? But so yeah, they all meet up there at the Hoover Dam. Frenzy is still with them. He's turned into the phone, and we get to see Megatron for the first time, and the Cube. And I thought this scene was really cool too because like the imaging of like Megatron, like just and apparently there was half CGI, half real. So like from the legs down, that was all like a real thing that they made, and then they CGI'd the top. And apparently everyone on the crew was just like so amazed by this scene, and that was like a real hit for them that like this movie's gonna be like crazy because again they weren't seeing anything really. This is the first time they kind of saw something, and I don't know when they shoot this. Maybe they shot this early on, but the girl that played Maggie, even her was like, "Oh damn, we're making like a big American film here." Clearly, like they're building this whole thing just for like one scene. I was like, I'm used to just doing like little thing, you know what I mean? Like a movie where it's just like we're in a place. They literally spent like all this time just making this one thing just for this. And Shia even said that like on their off days, he'd literally bring his friends. He'd be like, "Yo, you gotta see.
You gotta
this.
check this out.
You gotta. This is
Oh,
crazy.
that's
That's
cool.
Megatron." Yeah. Apparently they made the whole thing, which is
I think the biggest thing that would help that for the actors would just be the sense of scale.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like everything's CGI. So when they're interacting with the robots, if they're talking to them or they're supposed to be fighting with them or whatever, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they probably have some cue points stuff for them to look at and things
Yeah.
like that. But like actually seeing half of them built to that size, you'd be like, "Oh,
Those
okay,
things
it's
are
like that."
massive. Yeah, it was just crazy. So then we get Frenzy who tells all the Decepticons that he found the spark. Starscream and the Decepticons make their way. They show the power of the cube to them. So like they go into like this little room and then like put a like Nokia phone in. And
Sorry,
what's
everybody,
up,
that's my dog.
he didn't like this part of the movie. But so they put the Nokia phone in, and we get the stupid ass line where he's like, "The Japanese, they make
It's not Japanese.
Yeah, it's like from Finland or something.
Sweden, I think,
Or something great.
You know, okay, I had a thing about this, and again, it's not a Ferris Bueller. It's just a little point where I saw that apparently Michael Bay wanted this to be like an Apple product, like an iPod or something.
That
You
was
saw
one of my facts.
Okay, my bad. Just
No,
step on.
go ahead.
But to me, I always find this like stupid when I hear this in movies too, because it's just like there was an iPad early in, like when he was showing in the Mars thing, that was an iPad.
Oh, really?
Not an iPad, like a Mac. It was
Okay.
a Mac. And my thing is like, why though? Like your phone or your product gets turned into this like cool little robot thing. Like what is like Steve Jobs? These people thinking it's like, oh, whoa. I'm definitely not gonna get an iPod now. I saw that thing in Transformers. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not even. It's like the destruction because they do end up destroying the Nokia device.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like I said about the James Con.
They just don't want
like they don't
James
want their
Bond product to be
products
destroyed.
being destroyed or shown like
Yeah.
being garbage or something like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
You know what it's funny you do mention that because I guess when you think about it, you think of a Nokia, it's kind of like a done phone now too.
Yeah.
So it kind of even makes
Maybe
it
that's
look.
why.
It makes it even look more like a garbage phone. The fact that it gets destroyed.
Maybe
And
if it was an iPod, Apple would have gone under. We would all seen it get destroyed. Be like, I'm not getting that product.
If there's anyone watching, we all know that scene is bullshit because Nokias are
Yeah, that's
indestructible. Oh my days.
Yeah, that's true. Did you have anything you want to say about this? Like this whole sequence, like the.
I thought it was funny with Tyrese and Glenn. They're like, "Oh, that's Freddy Krueger." Nah, that's Wolverine. that's Wolverine.
That's
that was
Wolverine.
good. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was good. That was
Yeah, they have a
funny.
couple movie references in here. Even when they're picking the cars, it's like, you ever seen the movie 40-Year-Old Virgin? This is 40-Year-Old Virgin. That car's 50-Year-Old Virgin. Yeah, there's a couple of movie lines in there. That was a good one too. I forgot about those. They get Bumblebee because now they realize that the Megatron thing is like melting because Frenzy like made it like fail. I guess he hacked it or whatever.
Well,
right?
Starscream comes and
Yeah.
he blows up the grid, the power
yeah, that's
grid.
true. Yeah,
So they're like, we can't keep up with the freezing, the cryo freeze just on the generators.
Yeah.
So he's starting to thaw out.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, like you said, he's thawing out. The team splits up. We'd sit into one team that's trying to send a message, and the other team just trying to protect the cube as they're trying to like just make their way through. And there's a whole thing with this, like they're trying to make their way, but Frenzy's trying to break in and everything. But I don't know if you have anything you wanted to.
Yeah, I have a couple beefs here.
Okay.
So
Beefs?
yeah, they're beefs.
Okay.
So Megatron's thawing out.
Yeah.
And then when he wakes up, he kills everybody that's in the room.
Yeah.
But they knew from time that he's starting to thaw out. They're like, we're losing MB1. Tell those guys to get the hell out of there. Why are they still there doing research and stuff? Like, bro, you know he's about to wake up.
That's so true.
Get them the hell out of there. Why didn't they tell them?
Some people are diehards for their job, bro. They're just
No, they were not told. No, they were
Yeah,
not
that's
told.
true. Yeah, I don't
Nobody
think they were
told them.
Yeah, I don't think they were told. They were just doing. They were just running through the motions. They're just running through the motions.
That's crazy. And my second beef is, like you said, there's the one crew that's going to protect the cube. So they're like, we're going to get it out of here because the Decepticons know here. We're going to hide it in the city. So you know that Decepticons are coming. Giant alien robots.
Yeah.
There's going to be a big-ass fight. You bring this into a city. What are you thinking? Why? You're just asking for more casualties, damage. Why would you do this? You're in the Hoover Dam. Just drive. They literally drive like through the desert to get to a city. Go to a remote location. They can blow up all the rocks they want. It's not that big a deal.
This happens in a lot of movies, though.
Yeah.
Like I can think of Avengers. I can think of Man of Steel.
No, but Avengers, it's
takes
Loki.
place.
Yeah, I guess
it's
that's true.
Loki that like opens the portal, right?
That's
and
true.
he's the bad guy. He doesn't care about casualties.
That's true.
They're choosing to take this cube and bring it to where there's thousands of civilians and property to damage. And what are they doing?
And Paris Hilton.
Oh,
What?
really?
You didn't know she's in the film?
No.
When?
In the car, when Sam drops the cube and
Yeah.
it transforms like the Xbox, she's in the car that's transforming.
that's her?
Yeah.
She's not the main girl.
She's not the
talking,
main girl, but
beside-
She's the one that
Oh,
screams.
shoot.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
I never noticed
Yeah.
that.
Damn, I didn't notice that either.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Seen this movie a shitload of
Okay.
times before.
Seriously.
But I bet you didn't notice until this time, huh? Or you
No,
knew
no,
this
I
before?
knew this before.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Paris Hilton. All right. Is that's it? You have
Yeah,
your
that's
beef?
why those are my two beefs.
Okay.
You want me to have more?
No, I'm just curious if you had anything else. Okay. But anyway, so now we get the highway fight, which we get like I don't know which the name of the Decepticon was when he rips through like the bus, like
Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher. Okay, yes. That was a dope little. That's just like. This scene is like Michael Bay 101. But before like the whole final fight scene, like this whole like highway scene of everything just exploding and getting destroyed and everything. This is like, it was intense. And apparently, I don't know if you saw this too, like how they did that, the explosion of like when he ripped through that bus.
No.
Like they actually set up a bus and like they actually like they ripped it in half and they exploded and everything with the explosives. And there was actually a dude driving it. So like if you rewatch the scene, there's a
my
guy
God.
driving it. They cut it in half, they rip, and there's still a dude driving it because he's like trying to get it out of the way.
That's an extreme
crazy,
adrenaline
man.
junkie. Him and Michael Bay went to the back, hit a couple of rails, and said, "We're gonna do explosion slow motion, and you're gonna drive that goddamn bus."
It's crazy, man. And it looks so dope though. Like when they obviously you add in the CGI and him just ripping through it.
He's never
it looks
made
so bad.
And then he's kinda
rollerblades
like-
look cooler.
Yeah, when he's skating on the road. That was sick.
That was
sick.
sick.
No, it looked fresh.
Clean.
That was sick.
And Optimus just stopping, turning, like.
And
all
he's
right, buddy.
and when he transforms, like it kind of like pops and his wheels are still rolling, and then his body starts to form on top. Oh, so good.
Yeah, the trend again, like the shout out to the CGI team for just
for sure.
The just movements of them transforming. It just looks so dope.
It's so dope.
And the sound effects that come along with it.
So my experience before this film with Transformers was the cartoons, where Optimus is a good guy, like always.
Cuts
When he goes to get Bone Crusher, takes his head, I was like, Optimus don't fucking play. He's about that business.
He's nasty. He's nasty. He does this shit.
I'm not familiar with Optimus doing that in the comics, but they made him a badass in that moment. Just cut
the shield comes up, the sword, done.
Yeah, when his face shield comes down, just run away. Just run away.
Game 6
You
LeBron.
You don't want that. You don't want
LeBron.
that.
And then, as we mentioned, I'm just gonna run through it. Then we'll talk about like the whole final sequence. But so we get the fight in the streets. We get Jazz, who gets killed by Megatron. Sam gets the cube to protect. We get the whole Prime versus Megatron fight. Sam ends up putting the cube in Megatron's chest. The Autobots stay on Earth, and then we get the scene of Starscream just like flying off into the distance. So that was just like a run through of the whole thing. If there's anything, especially you want to talk about the whole closing.
Well, I gotta mention, we talked about the product placement, but there's like one scene specifically where it's like 3 back to back to back. It's the car, like when he drops the cube, and he wakes up the car. So we get the Cadillac symbol right on the wheel of the car. Xbox, the Mountain Dew vending machine. Bro, come on. That's a lot. It is. It's a lot.
You know what it is? That happens in more movies than you think. I think there's a little more subtle.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little more.
Yeah, this is in your face. Like the Xbox makes the old Xbox 360 sound when it turns on that like ring. The Mountain Dew, a green bright vending machine on the street like that. Exactly. And like you said, like the only part of the car that transforms is the wheel with the freaking Cadillac symbol.
Yeah, what happened after that? I like to see like what happened 2 minutes after that happened. Did the whole car turn into a transformer and they just got destroyed?
I have no clue.
And how come the cube turns all of them into bad guys?
Yeah, only Decepticons, right? Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good question. And I think they explain it in number 2 where it's like there's more Decepticons than there were Autobots. So that's another reason where they were losing the war.
Right.
I could just be like
talking out of your ass,
but I'm pretty sure
that's load.
No. And another funny part that my dad actually had said right since the movie ended, they had to kill a black guy. The only
Jazz.
Transformer to die is fucking Jazz.
He's ripped in half, dude. Poor guy.
It's like, I want a PC one. I want 2.
Yeah, that was kind of badass.
That was
though.
a hard line.
That was
like, shit, man.
Did you have anything to say, Dion?
About the closing scene?
Like the big fight, big climactic fight.
Oh, I teased it earlier. I said there was like the stunt when he was on, like when he was hanging off the thing, right? And Megatron was trying to get the cube.
Or whatever?
Yeah, and Megatron was gonna get the cube with him. They had him on like these 2 harnesses, but there was no net. So like he was literally hanging off that thing, and there was no net behind him. So obviously, most actors don't do, because he was even saying, he's like, most actors don't do this. Like if we're gonna do this, we'll usually have a net. Bay was like, we're not gonna have a net. You're gonna be on these 2 strings, and he's like, and he was messing with him. He's like, are they gonna hold up? He's like, they should. And then he's like, all right, get up, we're rolling. And like, it's funny because I saw a bunch of scenes. He was just like swearing, because at first he was like, okay, it probably won't be that bad. Then he gets up, he's immediately like, yo, fuck, that shit's high, bro. What? And then like, go back and watch it. You see him panicking and looking down, like he's literally looking down, like, bro, like, I think he's afraid of heights too. So it didn't help. But he was like, these chains ain't doing nothing. It's like doing the skywalk and you're afraid of heights. You're still gonna shit your pants, because you still feel that behind you. That was the thing. He was like, I still feel all this space. I can move, and if I just let go, maybe I'll fall back. He's like, if I do fall though, he's like, my face is gonna scrape. He's like,
that's what I was.
And
he was
say. And he was like, yeah, don't let go. So Bay was just fucking with him, and he's like,
amazing.
Bro, like, I thought that was funny. I was like, that is scary. You know, I'm not even that afraid of heights, but that sounds terrifying still.
I'm terrified of heights. Terrified of heights. So I can sympathize with Shia in that moment.
I have just a couple little things to mention. Okay. Nothing serious, but when Michaela ties up Bumblebee and like drives him around on the tow truck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Jahmari will get this, but that made me think of a warthog. in Halo.
Yeah.
So in Halo, there's in the Halo games, there's a vehicle.
Yeah.
So there's someone that drives, and on the back there's a turret.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this is literally a warthog. She's driving, and he's at the back, like shooting people at the turret. This is sick. And then I hated this line when Optimus and Megatron fight. Optimus wins, and we assume Megatron's dead. Well, Shia or Sam puts the cube in his chest, and Optimus after that gets up and says, "You left me no choice, brother." Bro, you were getting folded in this fight. You were losing the fight. If Sam didn't save you with the cube in the chest, you would have died. He's like, "You left me no choice. I had to. You didn't do nothing, bro." I mean, well, you didn't do nothing, but you were getting bent.
Yeah, he
So
was.
don't do that.
Megatron
Don't
was
come out
giving
and
that
say,
boy
nah.
the business, man.
Exactly. And then he comes out and he's like, "Yeah, I won that fight. You left me no choice. I'm sorry I had to do you like this." What do you mean, bro? You didn't do shit.
Yeah,
He was holding back.
He was ready to
holding back.
crash out. He's like, "Sam, put it in. Sam, please get me out of this."
That cheesed me.
He was holding back. That's what it was.
Yeah,
He was holding back. He was holding back. The only other thing I had is just like we kind of mentioned it, like the product placement, the little Hasbro Easter eggs, if you want to call them that. The one thing, there's the My Little Pony, that's Hasbro, and then there was another product placement thing that I thought was pretty like apparent, but like maybe you noticed the Furby truck. You notice the Furby truck? That's another Hasbro
That's
product.
the one that the Ironhide and Bumblebee
They lifted it up
to
to
block
protect
the
Starscream.
okay,
It's a giant Furby truck.
Nice.
Apparently, in the notes, like in what's it called, like the facts or trivia thing, it said that was actually a truck full of Furbies. I'm like, you tell me there was actually Furbies in the truck that they exploded? Why would they waste
Why?
products? When I read
It
that,
was
I was like,
they were trying to get rid of the backlog. Who was buying Furbies back then?
I don't know. I guess so. And then the last one where there was Takara Sushi was like a little like sushi shop in the background, and apparently I didn't know this, that Takara was a Japanese toy company that was actually responsible for the Transformers. So they didn't actually.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't actually make Transformers. They just had like these little cars that would transform into these little robots. And Hasbro saw that and was like, "Oh, like, can we buy this from you?" So they sold it to them and then made it the Transformers. So they had that little thing of showing the little toy companies. It was the name of that, and then it was a sushi place. So that was like a little thing in there just for like.
I like that.
That
That's
was
cute.
really cool. I didn't know that though. I thought like they just made it up. I didn't realize there is like a Japanese like influence to them because they're almost like samurais, almost a little bit. They're gonna get into more of that later, but I thought that was cool. That was like my last.
Nice.
Did you have any little facts, Jahmari, or anything?
My fact was the Paris Hilton one.
Okay, that was a good one.
Well, I got one more little fact. Then we talked about the iPod thing.
Yeah.
But Michael Bay said that the visual effects, like for the robots, were so complex. It took 38 hours to render just one frame of movement.
Wow, I believe it.
I mean, it looks amazing. And there's so much detail.
Marvel
so
should take notes.
I believe it.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't
They
have
don't
the
have time for that. Yeah, they're just pumping out content.
Now they're getting better with it. Now they're spacing out their shit. It's like we got one Marvel movie this year, I think.
And it was good.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get one. I think maybe we get two next year. I think we get a Captain America and something. But yeah, we're not talking about Marvel.
Yeah.
But though actually, I just remembered one more thing, which I thought was hilarious because Stephen King watched. Obviously, you guys know who Stephen King is, right?
Yeah.
He watched Transformers, and then later on in an interview, they said, "You ever walked out of a movie?" He's like, "Yeah, the 2007 Transformer movie," and he never said why. He just like a G. He's like, "Yeah, the 2007 Transformers movie." He just walked out.
Damn.
So and nobody knows why. I kept searching. He never explained why.
That's cold.
He just walked out of the 2007 Transformers.
Cool.
Maybe you're just
Michael Bay.
Maybe just a huge Transformers fan.
Yeah.
Like, cause like they didn't look like the Transformers and stuff, and like they did keep the guy that did the original Optimus voice, but they changed the guy that did the Megatron's voice. So maybe like slight little changes bothered him. I don't know.
Honestly, though, Megatron's voice and Jazz's voice really pissed me off. Like Jazz doesn't sound like the rest of them. Like he sounds like really kind of like.
You talking about the cartoon?
In the movie, he sounds like AI. Like it doesn't sound like a real human being.
Yeah.
And same with Megatron. Like it doesn't sound good. Then when they switched Megatrons for number 2, Megatron is cold. Like that voice is so crispy. I don't really like the one for obviously this one here. And I'm gonna give out another award for my.
Just hold on. We're about to get
Okay, my bad.
So it's time for the Filmies, everybody. This is our award show. We got 6 awards, and we're just gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna go right to our fit check. Jahmari already gave us his.
Yes, sir. It was the Bumblebee.
Bumblebee when he.
It was
I don't know why you're
actually-
checking your phone. You
Well,
said
because
it earlier.
I have on my other
Oh,
notes here.
okay.
But also, it was a tie.
Okay.
Just wait. Let us go. Let us go
okay.
first. So go ahead, Dion.
Mine is actually the exact same as Jahmari.
Bumblebee?
Yeah, so we have a certified.
Does that count?
Actually, no. It's got to be all three, I guess.
It's got to be all three.
So
And mine's not Bumblebee.
Okay. It's not certified. It's not certified.
So
That'd be hard to get.
is yours in the same moment, like the new Camaro?
Yeah,
when he
it's the
scans
new
thing?
Camaro. Yeah, it's that. I mean, it is just that look. It's not necessarily in the same moment, but I guess it would be. As soon as he turned into that, I was like, ooh, that's my fit.
Okay, nice. Mine, I went a similar route to you guys. It's Optimus.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
like when we even talked about it, when there's that shot of him, like Sam looking up at him, and then we see his every aspect of his model change, and we see each piece moving and the sounds that go with it, and it just looks so crisp, and he's huge, and it's just sick. And as a kid, it was the coolest thing ever, dude. I was like, this is my fit, 100%.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was my second too.
Yeah.
So we're kind of close with it, but we didn't all picking Optimus. I just didn't want. I feel like I didn't want to go Optimus because I figured one of you guys would. So someone would give him love. So like let me do something else.
I didn't want to glaze too hard, but Optimus was.
Yeah, no, it was
clean.
fire. And that, again, because I guess we're not diehard like '80s fans, but a lot of people didn't like that look.
Yeah, maybe
because he's more. I think he's more blue. Usually,
yeah, you're right. He is the more.
But they made him.
Well,
They put that red.
his whole legs are blue and
Yeah,
his
true.
chest is red.
He doesn't have fire on him too. Like,
Yeah.
that looks fire. but it's not.
That's what I was saying. Like even in the car form,
Yeah.
that's part of his fit, I guess. You
Yeah.
know, as again, it's kind of like cliche now.
Yeah.
You know, like seeing like fire in a car, it's kind of douchey, but like for a kid and as a transformer in the movie,
for
like
sure.
it's sick.
Yeah, he's a superhero. You can have
Exactly.
Fire.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
have fire.
I don't hate it now.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna move to our Ferris Bueller Award. So again, Jahmari
Blue is low.
he blew his load.
Sorry, guys.
or no, you retracted the load.
No. And then I gave it again.
Oh my
out
God, you
to-
double loaded.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
To who? Wait, who did? What's
wait,
gonna
what was
remind
it?
us?
I gave
again?
it to Seymour being a creep on.
Oh yeah.
11th
Every time you say
grader.
Seymour, I want to say butts.
Left cheek. Left cheek. I'm gonna say that. I'm just gonna keep saying that.
Okay.
Dion.
So my Ferris Bueller was Lennox giving the cube to Sam to protect. Like you're trained in the military, and you're gonna give this cube to a high school. He was so sure about it too. He's like, "You take this." Well, no. Tell him to go leave. Literally, they could tell Sam and Michaela to leave. They don't need to be there.
Yeah.
They're not trained fighters.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like Michaela, he's telling Michaela to leave, and she's just like, "No, I'm staying." He's like, "All right, bet."
Yeah, that's what I mean. Have a backbone. Why do you think these high school kids run the show?
Because Bumblebee chose him.
I guess so. But yeah, no, that was my Ferris because I was like, that's lazy.
Yes, you're right.
Let us
He
just being
could've done
lazy.
it.
He didn't. He was like, "This is gonna be. I'm gonna let this high school kid do it. I'm just gonna shoot
gonna
bullets
chill
at this
here."
metal thing over here."
Well, no, because he then gets on the motorcycle.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
drives down slides, gets that
Yeah, that's
badass
true.
kill. So he was cooking too.
That's
but
true.
I don't hate the award. You're right.
To me, it's lazy. He's being lazy.
I like it. Mine goes to. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but mine goes to the Pentagon.
Okay.
For two reasons.
Yeah.
One, like I said, we had talked about it when she copies the SD card and puts it in her makeup and just walks out and like has this super Omega top secret
Yeah.
file. Like, come on, that's lazy. And secondly, the same girl, she's walking through the halls and then someone's escorting her and there's a door open and she just slips in.
Oh, yeah.
When she gets into the meeting, when they're talking about, I think it might have been the Koreans, it might have been the Indians, and she's like, no, they can't do this. They're like, who are you? Like, you could just walk into a room, slip into a room, and get into a top secret.
She is an analyst. She's an analyst.
I'll push back,
Hey.
Okay, yeah, go. No, we won't push back. Keep going.
This is the Pentagon,
Yeah.
and they're talking about alien. This is the top of top secret. Come on.
Give your pushback, Jahmari. Go.
So my pushback is when she slipped in, you notice the guard turns and knocks on the window.
Okay, open the door and get her the hell out of there. This is the Pentagon. You're not just
Oh,
like,
yeah,
hey,
you're
excuse
right.
me, can you get out, please?
You're right. He could've-
Bro, what are you talking
door.
about? She's like, excuse me, you're not supposed to be in there. You'd be like, this is Secretary of Defense. They're about to talk about some nasty shit. Get the hell out of that room. This is the Pentagon. Nah, that's lazy.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
So we're going to go to our Nas Reed Award, our sixth man. So this is somebody with a minor role in the movie that showed out. And we talked about a lot of the secondary characters that were balling. I gave mine Bobby Bolivia, Bernie Mac,
Okay.
R.I.P. Jahmari, give me yours.
So mine, I'm gonna give to Major Lennox and Tyrese Gibson. Like their dynamic.
You
Like,
gotta,
Okay.
you gotta choose one.
Gotta choose one.
You gotta
I
choose
gotta
one.
choose one.
You gotta choose one. They had a fun dynamic, but you gotta choose one.
Damn.
Should we come back to you?
Nah, I'm gonna give it to Major Lennox. I really like what he
Okay.
did as the leader of the group and stuff like that, and like his phone call scene.
Oh yeah, no, that was great.
That was good. That was good.
Like him getting mad at Tyrese's character when it's like, how are you calling the Raptors in on us? Like
Yeah.
he's like, bro, that wasn't my fault. Like I just liked what he did with the character, and like him, I can never see as anything else other than Major Lennox.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
he
no,
did
true.
throughout the whole series of Transformers something really well with the character. Like he took a minor character from here, brought it into number 2 as an important character, and same thing with again number 3. Like he was always a good 6-man throughout the whole series for me.
No, I like that. I actually wish I was waiting. I watched the newest one with like my sister and my dad, and I was wishing there was like a little cameo. He didn't show up in it, just like a second. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
He's such a big part of the series. I was like, come on, just throw him in there. But they don't fuck with the humans that much. I understand that the movie's all about the Transformers, but like, how are you gonna have us be like get used to these humans and just keep switching them like they're nothing? You know what I mean? Like, if anything, they're the bigger part of the movie. The Transformers, there's not much dialogue. They come in every now and then. It's always like a thing of like, when's Optimus gonna show up? He's like fucking like Batman or something. Like, when's
Yeah.
Batman gonna show up? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
But-
you're right. In the later ones,
Yeah.
and like in this one, he's there the whole time. But you're right. They're always like, "Oh, where's Optimus? Where's Optimus?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's more. I feel like it's more about the humans, but then they just change them so much, where it's like, at least keep one or them around. Like even if it's just the Lennox, where it's just like we get have us feel like the little bit of the people that have been there, but at the end of the day, they're not trying to connect them all. Really, they're just
No,
gonna
I
keep
think
pumping
too
them.
because they're robots. Like, right, they can live a long time.
Yeah.
So like the human, it could be like the next generation.
No, that's true.
Or
No,
whatever.
100%.
So, Dion, your Nas Reed Award.
My Nas Read Award goes to Bobby too. It's Bobby Bolivia, and we mentioned the line. I wrote it down, but it was just the. It's like I don't be like that. If I had a, it's like yeah. He's like, don't be like that. If I had a rock, I'd bust your head, bitch.
That's correct.
And then there's the long come.
The laugh, yeah, I had that written down. His laugh too. Bust your head. He also had one more too. And when Sam and his dad first come, he's like, "No, you came to me. You came to see me to buy his car. That makes us family." Yeah. Uncle Bobby B, baby.
Yeah.
he's just cooking throughout the whole scene. He's great.
Manny, get your cousin out that clown suit.
Oh,
Manny.
you're scaring the white folk. Even and then his last closing thing too, when he's just looking around. 4,000.
4,000. Yeah.
And then just cut scene. Yeah, I like that
Yeah.
too. But yeah, he's my Nas Reed 6-man.
Yeah, I almost certified. You're right. He's a small role, and he absolutely bodied it.
R.I.P.
Epitome of a 6-man. R.I.P. Bernie Mac. So we're gonna move to our best quote. Self-explanatory. Jamari, give me your best quote.
No sacrifice, no victory.
Okay.
Okay.
That goes
The classic
so
bar.
hard. And like it's true. Like look at how all this hard work that everyone in your life does. Like you guys working hard to make this podcast. Like my cousin working
Wow,
hard
I appreciate that, man. Wow.
Yeah, like the amount of time that you guys have sacrificed to do things, to work hard to get this off the ground. My cousin, same thing with his TikTok, rap, and videos and stuff like that. He worked
Shout
really
out
hard.
Eugen. That's our boy.
Sacrifices to make those videos come true and really pushes hard. Like everyone I know sacrifices hard for a craft that they really enjoy. So that quote really resonates with me and for everyone.
No, I
That's
like
lit. No, and it's his grandfather's mantra, and that passes down. His dad says it, and he kind of early in the movie he passes it off. He's like, yeah, I know, no sacrifice, no victory, blah blah blah. And then at the end of the movie, Lennox gives him the cube, Dion's Lazy Award, and Optimus is like, oh, you put the cube in his chest, like you were fighting for me, you saved my life, why'd you do that? And he says, no sacrifice, no victory. So he comes around to it, and just like you, I guess that's maybe his favorite quote too.
Yeah.
It's a good quote. I like that.
Dion?
My favorite quote is something that Sam said. To me, it's just like a perfect setup of just like, and the journey begins. It's when like, Bumblebee opens the car and she's like, I think he wants us to get in. And she's like, you really expect us to go in? He's like, 50 years from now, when you're looking back at your life, don't you want to be able to say that you had the guts to get in the car? I just think it's a hard
That's a
line.
bar. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the music hits and they're like, all right, I guess we're doing it. It's like, oh shit, now we're on kind of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I thought it was a cool, like little, That's another scene I remember too. That was just like I remember that moment where like, all right, we're getting in the car. It's like a choose your adventure.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to go this way? Or do you want to go that way? All right, let's go this way, and then the movie just bangs. So I really like that quote.
And he's right. Like, you just have this crazy experience, and he just like you can't just walk away.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna cap. If
You
I was
walk
Michaela and I
away?
just saw a barricade and Bumblebee fight, I'd be like, I ain't getting in there. No, sir.
Nah, Bumblebee, he stepped up. He protected you. He's good.
No.
I think my thought would be, well, he's the one that won the fight, so maybe
Exactly,
I'm
that's what
gonna
I'm
rock
saying.
with him. And if these things are existing, I'm sure maybe there's more. I realistically though, I probably
I'd go.
I don't know.
If you
man.
saw a
I take a pic.
It's easy to say now, I guess.
Yeah, I take a pic. I'm like, yo, Bumble, can I take a picture of you? Now I'm getting out of here.
Hey, good quote. Good.
Yeah, what about you? What was
you
you-
guys went with some sentimental ones. I just went with something that made me laugh.
Nothing
And,
wrong with
and
that.
it's Sam again. Shia, like I said, was cooking. So this is when Sam is chasing Bumblebee
Mm-hmm.
when he thinks his car is getting stolen.
Yeah.
So he's on the bike. He's chasing him. He calls the cops. This is his quote. He says, "Hello, 911 emergency. My car's been stolen. I'm in pursuit. I need all units, the whole squadron. Bring everyone. No. Don't ask me questions, all right? My father's the head of the neighborhood watch." Bro, that took me out. My father's the head of the neighborhood watch. I was like, yo, I don't know if he ad-libbed that, but that's
Yeah, no, that is
hilarious.
fucking hilarious.
And it took me right out. I was like, this has got to be my quote. It's hilarious.
So that's a good one. That's a good quote.
honestly, I'm really shocked in this. My other quote that was second place was simple. Autobots roll.
I
out.
thought of doing that. I thought
that
of doing
moment
that.
felt so good.
Just because he had to say it.
Yeah,
like
no, he
they
had to
had
say
to
it.
say it at some point, and like they got the original voice actor, like you had mentioned, Dion, and it just hits.
No, I just
Autobots
roll out.
Yeah,
So we're gonna move to our best scene, second last award. Again, self-explanatory. Jamari.
Yeah, so my best scene, like I said, was the whole sequence of when they go to meet all the Autobots coming down, like
Oh, yeah.
music crescendoing,
Yeah.
that song. Like I said, I still listen to it to this day. I still listen to that song, seeing them all transform, and then, like Scott said, Optimus rolling up, and that slow sequence of him transforming, and all the
So dope.
the gears, the tires stopping, and the awe like that Sam and Michaela feel like, and for it being CGI, they ain't looking at shit. But you feel the awe
that's true,
of
yeah.
them, like, whoa, we're seeing a 25-foot robot
Yeah.
transform in front of our eyes. I think that scene is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, no, it's a really good scene. It's a really good scene.
100%.
I was gonna go with that scene, but I want to take a different route because I felt like I went somewhat serious, and then I wanted to go funny again for my scene. So like, but if I was gonna go like, I shouldn't say serious, but more sentimental, but I wanted to go funny for mine, so I went in a funny route.
All right,
And I
well,
guess,
let me hear
okay,
it.
I guess go ahead. Mine was just his parents finding Mikaela. Like I just that just popped me. Like I don't know, it was just because I didn't remember how they reacted. I wasn't sure if like maybe one of them was a little bit like no, and then the other parent, but they were both like, "Hey, that's our boy." Yo. And then again, it was the pound was dope, and then it was also just the like we're gonna head out, and then he gave him another look. It's like good job.
Yeah, his parents were cooking in
That's
this
what I
scene.
mean.
They were hilarious.
His mom was like, "Oh, you're gorgeous."
Yeah.
Yeah. And right before this is like, were you masturbating?
Yeah, I know that.
No, that's a father and son thing. You don't ask. And the dad like, Judy, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. He's like, we don't have to call it that. You can call it your
Sam's happy
special
time,
yeah,
yeah.
special alone time.
You know that scene was cracked me up. It was good.
I went with something completely and I had trouble picking a best scene.
Yeah, because
There's a lot of good ones, but also a lot of like, I don't know, things that are just visually amazing
Yeah.
that I want to throw in.
Oh, yeah, true.
But
If-
anyways, the way I went with when Sector 7 scoops them all up. So right after your favorite scene
Okay.
of them. So basically it's because there's a fun kind of back and forth here. So Sector 7 pulls up. They're in control, right? They're like, they enter the house. They're scanning all this shit. They grab them all, arrest them all. And then the Autobots pull up, and now they're in charge. Sam's in charge. Sam's talking shit. He's like, Michaela's like, give me all your clothes. Take all your clothes off. I want to see them off.
Yeah.
Bumblebee pees on them. Like they're all in charge. And then our boy Arwen calls them on speakerphone. So then the army comes back, and then now they're in charge. And just like this whole back and forth, and Agent Simmons is funny throughout this whole thing, and it's just great. Like Simmons is flexing when he's in control.
Yeah.
Sam's flexing when he's in control.
Yeah.
No, that's my car, bitch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
let me
he's like,
introduce you
oh,
to-
is that your car? That's my car.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite scene.
I like the power dynamic. You're right.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
power
the
shifting.
flips.
Like,
Yeah.
Seymour in the underwear.
In the
I'm
underwear?
pretty sure it says Sector 7.
No,
Oh, yeah.
that's on his shirt.
Okay.
His shirt has
Like
like,
a
the Superman logo,
Yeah,
the
it's
S7.
S7. Yeah.
And I just thought of this. Like his name is, he introduces him as Agent Seymour Simmons. Ass.
Oh, yeah. I
damn.
didn't even
Ass
take that in.
of the movie. So that's
Yeah,
actually
you're
kind
right.
of funny.
That was like a little thing. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I didn't take that
hilarious.
in. But okay, we got 3 different scenes. I like it.
No, that was good.
We're gonna move to our final award, the MVP. Whoever stood out to you the most on or off screen.
Yeah.
Jamari.
Man, if we all 3 are different on this, I'll be shocked. But it has to be Shia. Sam
Okay.
he's so funny. He's so charismatic. Like I love his character from
Yeah.
the beginning that we meet him. Like he didn't have to grow on me. He is Transformers for me. Like forget what
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
Bo- what-
100%.
what Mark
Wahlberg.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is Transformers. Like his banter with everyone on the cast was good. His emotion throughout the entire series is great. And he's humorous.
He's really funny, yeah.
He's really, really funny. And like, I don't know. I just love what Shia did with this character. To me, like it's perfect.
No, 100%. I agree. And the funny thing is, I don't even dislike Mark Wahlberg. There's movies that he's in that I actually enjoy. But I don't know. Yeah, it was just like the change of going from Sam to him. I was just like, that's not the.
And the movies aren't good.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of puts like a sour taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
But we have a different MVP.
I probably have a different one from both of y'all
Oh,
too.
damn.
Okay.
All right. So do you
Go
want
ahead,
me to go?
Dion. Yeah,
okay.
go ahead.
You want me to go? So mine is I'm giving it to Michael Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I actually have, just like you have the DVD too, right?
Yep.
So I was sitting there. I have like the steel case edition. So I have like a separate disc that has like all the special features. So
Does it
I was
transform?
watching no, it doesn't transform. That would be dope though. They probably
They
could have
should've
done
worked
something.
something.
It
Yeah,
could've
they
moved
should've worked
around.
something. in
My
there.
special edition number 2 came with a code you could scan, and when you upload it to your laptop, it plays a hologram of Megatron.
Oh,
on
really?
your- as your screensaver.
shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, as I was saying, as I was watching, it just seeing all the things that he had to do as a director, and just seeing, like, to me, I just really liked that he put so much attention to detail into
Yeah.
the movie, and just how much of it he wanted to be practical. It's definitely more has to do with the times, because like 2000s, like everyone in the 90s was trying to make things practical. Like as the 10s came on, people got like really like horny with CGI. They want to put it in everything, but he like was so adamant about using as little as CGI as possible. And I don't have a gripe against CGI, but like practical is just things that make something
Just
timeless.
better.
You know what I mean? And it's just I think obviously in the 2000s they had to put more work into their CGI work, so like they did, and they weren't rushing movies and stuff like that. This wasn't rushed, and people tease him for like the explosion and stuff, but I feel like he's the perfect person for these type of movies. Like these are the movies where there's gonna be big explosions, these big action scenes. Like sometimes I don't know, maybe didn't need it in Bad Boys. They're just humans fighting other humans. You probably didn't have to have as many explosions, but in the Transformers movie, it just makes sense. These are giant robots that can like go through buildings and shoot down other cars and tanks and all these things. They can fly. So to me, he was like the perfect fit for this movie. Spielberg's the one that picked him, so he probably was just like, yeah, that's the dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna direct this. This is not Scorsese. It's not Tarantino. This is Michael Bay's shit. Like he's the one that's gonna make this like the perfect thing, and that's why I give him the MVP, because I feel like he was the perfect person for this type of movie.
And you're totally right. He's the perfect fit. Like you said, all the explosions, all the over the top craziness. This is what you want.
Yeah.
Like if you have a Transformers movie and they're just shooting little guns, like these guys make their own cannons.
Yeah.
Like they just transform. They're blowing everything up. This is what you want. Like this
Yeah.
is what brings the sense of scale to the robots too. Like if there aren't all these big explosions, we're like, okay, are they really that powerful? Like by seeing all this, we're like, okay, these guys, we can't fuck with them. Like we're like, it took a whole squadron of military with retrofitted weapons to take one out. In the big battle, when they're fighting that Scorpion, they have the Air Force come in and he still doesn't die.
Yeah.
So like we need to understand that like these are big bad robots, dude.
Yeah.
And like to have the big explosions and that sense of scale, you're right. They need a Michael. Not they need a Michael Bay,
but he was a
but
perfect
he was perfect for this. And actually, I read that he initially turned it down.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do a toy movie. He
he thought it would
he
be
wasn't
too
a Transformers fan. Yeah.
Oh man, like you said, I agree that he's the perfect person. Like it fits his style. Like you're right. Like going through buildings, going through the freaking bus.
Yeah.
Like it's
perfect.
And it is wild that he didn't want it. Like it was Spielberg's actually a big Transformers fan, so that's why he wanted to produce it. But he knew that Bay would be the guy for it. But Bay was like, I don't want to make it, because I guess in his mind he's like, I'm making a child movie.
Right.
He's probably thinking this is gonna be so lame. And then I think he realized when he was on set, he was like, oh, they're gonna let me do that? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna
How
have to
much
make this
money
like
are they offering me?
exactly. I
I
thought I
can
was
put
gonna make
people's
some.
lives in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
I could tell Shia LaBeouf to eat it and just head out on the leg.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But what about you, Scott?
yeah,
What was your MVP?
So my MVP goes to, I guess, kind of similar to yours, Dion, but more specific. It goes to Industrial Light and Magic,
okay.
which is the visual effects company
Oh, okay.
that worked on the movie.
Okay, yeah.
Just because the Transformers look awesome.
Yeah.
The fights are sick. Like I said, 38 hours just to render one frame. And like I read about all the work that they went into to test out different ways of making the robots, especially like the action of them transforming. Like I read that they even tried at first to do it so that it would be like it would abide kind of to the laws of physics. So that, but they said the transformer like in robot form would be way too small compared, like if all the parts of the car were the same size, which makes sense. You know, they're pretty small when they're in car form, but like, and all the little details, like I said, they tried to avoid being boxy like they are in the cartoon. And we talked about it all throughout this pod, saying our fit checks were both of the two of the robots, and they just look incredible. And I think if they didn't, then the movie could easily be kind of a kiddie movie, or it wouldn't look great. And like all the work that they went into to getting the lighting good, so where the sun is in the shot where the actors are is where it's reflecting off of the metal of the robots. Like all this detail and all the little aspects they added to the Transformers, which is the focal point of the movie.
Yeah.
And it can't be messed up. They nailed it, and that's my MVP.
It's a great choice. We were giving them shouts out all throughout the movie.
Exactly.
So like
you guys kept saying, shout out to the visual effects team. I was like, don't worry. I got it.
No, I didn't know nobody was going to do it, so I just wanted to give them props.
Yeah.
You're right. Every sequence, like the 38 hours for one frame,
Crazy.
like just the amount of attention to detail, like you said, like to every single different Transformers. Like there's planes, there's trucks, tanks, cars. Like they're all so wildly different. Like you have to build them all from the ground up.
Yeah.
You can't just like, copy paste. You know, like this is a crazy undertaking, and they did a phenomenal job with it. So I'm really happy with your pick for MVP.
Appreciate it. Man.
Yeah, the 30 hours for that cheeses me just because it takes like I get cheese off 40 minutes of rendering for our podcast. So I can't imagine 38 hours you said?
38 hours.
I get cheese for 40 minutes of rendering. I was complaining to my dad the other day. That's what I was talking about the I, Tonya episode. I was like, he's like 40. I was like 40 minutes. I take back my complaint. That's nothing.
You're pulling back your load?
Yeah, I'm pulling back my load. But so those are all our RFPs. Those are our awards. We didn't get any no certified. It's a lot harder to get certified
with three.
People.
With three, it's tough.
But so I want to say thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify and Apple Music if you don't, so you don't miss an episode. If you are on Apple, leave a 5-star review and we'll read it on the next podcast. Don't forget to follow/subscribe on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at The Film Room Pod. And most importantly, I want to thank Jahmari for coming on.
Hey, appreciate it, brother.
Coming on the show. We'd love to have you on again, too. It was a fun call.
Hey, anytime you guys want to talk about number 2, I'll be right back.
Okay, we'll have you the Transformers series. Okay.
Oh, shit. We'll be miserable. We'll do the whole thing. We'll talk about the Mark Wahlberg ones, too.
Oh, no. We don't do talk about
We don't need to do
shit.
that. We don't need to do that.
I mean, it could be another thing, too. If you want to continue doing Transformers, we can get you on to do more of them, or we can talk about something else. But, I want to appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
This was our first episode with a guest.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a good time.
I'm glad that could be your first.
Yeah, you
It was
popped our cherry.
Yeah.
You popped our guest cherry.
Blew your load all over.
Oh my
blew
goodness.
my fat load. Like it was crazy.
And on that note,
That's enough.
Autobots,
But-
roll out.
I gotta do my closing, Jahmari. I gotta do my
Yeah.
closing.
Let him cook.
But before we leave, I do have to say, listeners, this podcast is no longer. If you listen to this podcast, you no longer can have your wallet in your front pockets, and none of that side cargo shit either. There's only one place you can put that wallet.
Left cheek, left cheek, left cheek.
All right, peace out.
Peace.